Hello, everybody, and welcome back
Hello.
to Slime.
Hello. Let me turn on
Hello.
my camera here real quick.
Ugh.
If it doesn't freeze my whole damn
Ugh.
thing up. Please
Hi,
don't freeze the whole
everybody.
damn thing up
You'll never
again.
be nothing.
Ah. We're back.
Oh, good. Moon's
I feel like my
streamer as
voice
well.
is
I don't
in
know
that
if they can hear
state where
me.
I sound like that angry stepmother. You'll
Ah!
never be nothing. You'll never
Hello
amount to
there.
anything.
Hi there,
Doesn't look
boys.
strange.
Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski. Mm.
Always watch.
Always
Oh.
watching.
Lord.
Always
Blur.
Also, I will be doing that from time to time. I'm very sorry, everyone.
Yeah. Apparently,
I think everyone's
just,
kind of.
everybody's just sick.
Get up, come on, get down with the
Yep.
sickness. Get up, come
all
on,
right,
get down
guys.
with the sickness.
Christmas ads. Yay. Lovely.
Just a quick heads up.
Word.
Just a quick heads up for everybody. There's only 2 more weeks left of the light novels streams for the year.
Hang on.
We have after this the 5th and the 12th for the year. We have after this the 5th and the 12th. I'm gonna wait for the echo to go away. Yep.
I don't know why there is an echo, apparently.
It's
I'm
coming.
just turn
It's
off
coming
the
from
camera,
one
but
of
I
your
know why
speakers
it's
or
in
something, I guess.
That is pissing me off.
Anyway, the 5th and the 12th is all right.
Oh,
Hi,
bye.
welcome back. The 5th and the 12th are the last 2 days that we will be doing this for the year, and then we're gonna go on break for the remainder of the holiday, so everybody can enjoy their holiday time.
Have a holly jolly Christmas.
Be nice.
Are you
but-
having a holly jolly Christmas?
It's the
Christmas?
best time of the year.
No.
Say
You know, I applaud you for trying to
hello
sing.
Friends, you
That's so sad.
I mean, like, so my voice is just in a state. It's
Here's the
kind
thing.
of
Here's the thing.
repaired, but kind of not.
Here's the thing.
Uh,
I could be an asshole, or I could be a nice guy.
Go ahead, be an asshole. I want to hear it.
for
Okay.
oh god,
Okay. We'll be
It's gonna
back
be
on
funny.
We'll be back on the 2nd of January.
for to come back and read. Okay,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
what
that's
would
not
be
too
the
bad.
nice
I
guy?
kind of figured.
The 9th.
Oh,
Eh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, like, I could guarantee. Well, no, the second's not going to be terrible.
Uh-huh.
Besides, I'm probably going to have to work New Year's anyway, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the 2nd is the first Monday of the year. So, yeah. The nice guy would be the
Hey.
2nd Monday of the year. Just give you 3 weeks off instead of 2 weeks.
Don't poke me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my camera.
Mm.
I'm gonna have to look
Yeah,
at this
okay.
art on my laptop.
That's
been-
okay.
I thought he was gonna try and like make you do something with your voice or something.
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
I heard
me
the
too.
echo on
It
this.
would've
In
been
the
fun.
Sorry about that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to. I thought that was just a one-time thing last week. It's just.
Speaking of which, for
Right.
everyone who wants to spend points on stuff, for me, I know I usually do Callie from the Valley. I'm not unwilling to try something with that, but there are just some voices I'm going to say no to. I can still do a mean detective, though.
Yeah.
Actually, considering how fucked our voices are, for
Mhm.
the majority of this,
You just got to turn it
Yeah.
off.
yeah, the voices thing is just turned off this week. We're all kind of
Sounds
feeling,
good.
we're kind of all
Yeah.
feeling like shit this
Yeah.
week, so I'm just turning
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, I almost
Dude,
debated
What
just
about the
quitting
exercises?
this
I'm
week.
turning off every goddamn thing.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
considering,
'cause,
I think I'm feeling the best. Even my voice is still feeling my throat's feeling a little raspy.
Like
but
we're
I'm
all
confident that's fine,
kind
but-
of like. I'm
It
still
might have been from
coughing.
the holidays or Thanksgiving or something. I might have
Nah.
caught something from one of my family members or something.
Well, I
But
mean,
It's weird that it's
For
everyone.
me, it was
though.
sinuses plus
no,
being out in the
well, it's
weather.
mine
Mm.
is technically, I guess you could say mine is just self-inflicted from yesterday.
Mm.
But like, I
Oh.
had a mental and physical breakdown, and so yesterday I just kind of like I had a mental and physical breakdown over stress, and that's as far into that as I'm gonna go. It is not something that I'm going to publicly disclose. Suffice to say, it's just it's not anyone's business.
Yeah,
And
that's fair.
Nothing that anybody needs to go into. And it's not anything that I'm comfortable with publicly disclosing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Fair enough.
and it just put a lot of stress on my body, and part of the reaction to that is basically it is the same thing as just kind of like getting sick. And I'm not someone that gets sick normally, and that's kind of
Same.
funny considering. Funny story, I actually am thinner. I just realized from Sunday I can button my collar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's good.
it's kind of
Slowly but surely you're chipping away at it, so that's good.
it's actually my medicine. I
Oh,
don't
gotcha,
have
never
an
mind.
appetite anymore because my
Oh.
meds.
Oh,
Don't call
I
him
thought it was 'cause you were
Shirley.
doing exercises and stuff.
Well, a little bit of that, but a lot of it is just it's partially some of what I'm eating. That's some of it. That has a lot to do. It's what I'm eating because I'm not. It's not it's not a bunch of the crap that I used to eat. And also the other half of it is the frequency of what I eat. Some it's what I eat and how much of what I eat. So that's a good chunk of it.
Which is generally what weight gain and loss is about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So go hiking, you say?
I go for walks. I live in a woody area, and just being able to do that is nice sometimes.
I would
Let
love
me
to live out in
let
the
let me
woods.
quickly explain how myself and the Colt don't get along.
Oh,
Or-
bro, this time of the year, yeah, it's kind of harder, but it's only
Nah,
going to get
man.
harder
Oh.
until.
I was about to say,
probably-
nah, man, this time of year is fine, but then I remembered I am the most south of all of you. And then
No,
I'm like,
in the
oh,
north.
yeah,
I'm more north
cold
than
for
any of
me
you.
is in the 40s, still survivable. Cold for you guys is in the 30s and below,
He's
which
not
is
wrong.
like frozen. And I'm like, yeah, if it was 30 outside or below 30, I'd sit there like, maybe
Yeah, we
stay
just got a
indoors.
little bit of snow today. Not too much. It melted pretty
Oh,
quick,
fuck.
but it's probably gonna get
I
more.
feel like I need to just start, you know,
Just do that voice.
sometimes-
it's
today,
so
that'll work.
terrible. It's so horrible.
it's just terrible.
I'm
So
always.
horrible.
I will be watching you, Mike Wazowski.
Mike
Always
Wazowski.
watching.
Cold.
Wazowski.
That voice you're reading there, yeah.
Look,
I had way too much to drink.
yeah, I love that Crafter's like, Cold, what's that? Listen, motherfucker.
Fuck you.
I'll come up here. I'll show you. It's 30 degrees right now
Ugh.
outside.
Go to Canada. They'll really show you.
I can look at
Yeah.
Canada out my window.
Blame Canada.
I'm pretty
Blame
sure
Canada.
I'm pretty sure Crafter is like from the proper cold areas. Yeah. If
Oh, so he
Then
just
why
doesn't have
is
no
he asking what
concept of what
cold is?
warm is.
because he's being a
Fine.
sarcastic little butthead.
Butthole.
Yeah.
But,
Butthead.
Yeah.
but
McFly.
Yeah.
Ow. That hurt a little too much.
Your face looks like a box.
I don't want to guess the wrong location.
Oh,
Oh, you're from Cali. Never mind. No,
Ah.
fuck that. No,
Oh,
fucking liar.
no,
no,
never
I'm
mind. Never mind.
Oh, okay. I thought you said from Paul. Oh yeah, I forgot the I.
No, he's from the valley. He doesn't know what cold is.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
Fucking
Oh.
liar.
Well, at least this
Oh,
configuration
no.
with my computer.
I sound like my
Oh,
favorite character
no.
from Honey Pop.
You said, oh my god.
Oh my
You
god.
would
Oh.
say a goddamn hentai game.
Yes, I would.
It-
Fuck you. She's like one of the best. Okay.
Wait, which one? Which character?
Sit there. You just
The
sit there
one
with your
whose voice is
avocado
all
and
raspy and
toast.
shit.
Oh.
Actually,
the
you would think that I
blonde.
would know who that character is, but I don't.
How do you
Sad
not?
day.
It's the blonde one, the MILF.
Have you not?
Oh,
Markiplier
I haven't
played
played that
Honey Pop
game,
or something.
surprisingly.
You don't have to play it. Just watch
What?
Markiplier play it. or something.
Mm-hmm. Surprisingly, I haven't played it, but I do know what you're talking
If you
about.
live
So.
in the
It's
mountains,
okay. You
but
can
it's
blink
still,
twice.
Like, only
You don't
20s
have
is
to
the
worry about.
coldest.
Blink twice if you have or have.
Like only 20s is the coldest. Okay. All right.
No one will
guys,
judge you.
Guys.
Yes.
Let's see if I can still do this. 38 here in Portland, Oregon area at the moment. We've hit proper winter temps. Should be around freezing by sunup. Oh boy.
Good.
Ah, try 31.
Hey guys, let's just do
Actually,
the
let me check right now.
half-assed sick.
Motherfucker,
Congregation.
we got into the 20s down here in Tennessee. I don't want to hear your bullshit. Anyway.
Mm.
Ladies and gentlemen of the congregation. I was able to pull
That's
it
as
off.
best
There
as
we
I can
go.
do for now.
Please open your holy books of Reberism
Hold
to chapter 3.
on, no. I'm just imagining what if you're just like, ladies and gentlemen, you cough halfway through, the rest of us are like, yeah.
Ladies and,
Yeah. Yeah.
ladies
we're
and
just-
gentlemen of the congregation.
Dude, this is.
Praise coughing.
Oh,
Praise
God.
coughing.
Yep.
Praise the tea and honey.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
just
tea,
saying,
honey,
man.
and lemon.
Praise the combi.
I'm just saying.
Praise
there's
the
gonna be-
drops and the liquids.
Ladies and
Mhm.
gentlemen, there are going to be mandatory cough drop breaks throughout this entire reading.
Amen.
Oh, what do you think I have right now?
Fucking lemon and honey cough drops. All right, here's the thing. If you don't know, warm liquids and honey.
Yep.
Warm liquids and honey. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not just tea. You can't, here's the thing. Hot water or warm water, also warm milk. Milk also does a little bit of coating. It can't just be tea because caffeine, it can't be just straight caffeine stuff.
Green tea doesn't have caffeine.
I know that.
No. Wait.
A little
No,
coffee.
I thought it does.
Tea itself has caffeine.
Oh.
Green
Maybe I
tea
should get some
doesn't.
tomato soup then for dinner.
Either that
got
or
some
green
maple
tea
syrup.
has a caffeine concentration so low your body just doesn't register it.
Yeah.
Well,
Today I learned.
but
We should add cough into the not the donation thing, but like the
Wheezing, wheeze.
coffee.
instead of hydrate, it should just be coughing.
Cough break. Everyone just turn away from
Everyone-
their microphone.
Posture check. Cough.
All right. Anyway,
Turn your head and cough.
turn your head and cough. Yes, there we go. All right.
Just
So
give 'em a
anyway,
squeeze.
try that. Squeeze
Oh,
lemon
man.
juice, honey, and hot water, and a little bit of ginger.
Lemon juice.
Yeah,
that's what I forgot
my
to
mom
buy.
does.
Lemon
yes,
juice.
I should.
Once again, honey is important. Also, once again,
And-
lemon and honey cough drops, and if it is seasonal stuff, and it's respiratory related,
Oh, that's so good.
putting a little bit of Vicks Vapor Rub on your chest before you go to sleep makes a world of difference.
Yep.
Really does.
I'm gonna have to do that tonight. Blah.
Would hot chocolate be?
No,
No.
yes,
Hot.
yes.
With milk?
All right. Here's the thing. Yes, but it cannot be powdered.
Would the pod ones be okay?
Uh,
What are the pod ones? I've never heard of those. Oh.
I don't know.
No.
It's like a little
Isn't that
ball
still
of
powdered?
chocolate.
Fuck.
It's
Oh.
like a little ball of chocolate that you just drop in and it.
Have you guys
No,
ever
you
made?
know how you could
Oh.
do coffee?
Here's the thing. Have you ever made homemade hot chocolate?
Not without
Nope.
the powder.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
I've always
I would
decided
say
with
without the
powder.
powder.
Oh man,
The pods,
it's a
like the
whole
liquid
different
pods.
it's a whole different vibe.
Oh,
Like
I'm
with
sure.
like with vanilla and cinnamon and like the whole, oh man.
Story
Oh
time
my
at a
God.
retirement center.
Well,
Well,
little
Billy,
Be like,
one time your
Well,
old
hope there'll
grandpa
be-
was in the war. And in that war, there was this little slime, but let me tell you, Billy, he was nothing to be trifled with.
To tell
Good.
you a great
Let me
story.
tell you
There-
about the Korean War with Rimuru.
There I was, back to back with Jesus, Bible in one hand, sandal in the other.
oh my God.
War
Never have
never
I seen a
changes.
Mexican throw a sandal
Boy,
so
hand me
fucking
that
fast in
Nintendo
my
GameCube
life.
remote. We're gonna play Smash in the old folks gathering center.
Boy, hand me
A
my
GameCube.
Switch.
I would love that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Bart.
actually, at that point, Switch would probably be
Bart.
considered a
Oh,
retro
can't-
console.
Yeah.
Oh God.
We're gonna be old one day.
All
Like,
right.
old.
No,
Really
we're
old.
not.
Some
we're
of
gonna
us
be
already
young
are.
forever.
Some of us already are.
With that one. Am I even pointing the right direction? What?
I don't know. Are you?
No,
What are you
I'm pointing at the fucking wall. Okay,
Yeah.
that one. There. God. It's not fair. On stream, my camera's flipped.
Hmm
Oh yeah, no, that's fair. Well, you still would know the general direction of where it was, and the camera would compensate.
No, because the camera is flipped. So what I'm seeing, I'm facing towards Richie right now. So when I do this,
Oh, okay.
I'm pointing at Richie. But
Yep.
what it's actually showing is this over here is pointing at Richie.
Yes.
I should have that set in case I need to turn my
Hi.
head to look at chat. That way,
I blame you
don't
for
know
this.
what's so bad.
I did nothing.
I know. I still blame you for this.
I have done nothing wrong this
You
entire
are
time.
here, okay?
Why
you are
are
the
we
closest
here?
scapegoat.
Just to suffer.
yes.
Kiko, how you doing?
Why are we still streaming? Just to suffer.
Some friggin' triclops turning triangles into fucking squares.
Triclops.
And then Triclops shows up and decides, I'm going to turn
I'm just gonna
triangles
triangles
into
into
fucking
fucking
squares.
squares. I can never get the lines right.
All right,
Ah.
anyway.
That Goku could just teleport. Gotta look at that later.
All right. All right, so Shim, I'm gonna let
Yes.
you do the honor.
Okay.
Okay.
Chapter 3, the battle tournament.
Yeah.
I had way too much to drink. That's a great start to this.
Way too much cough syrup.
As a rule, I can drink as much as I want and never get buzzed off it, but that problem was overcome by toning down my cancel poison ability a little. That was a trick Luminous had taught me, and at a festival like this, let me tell you, I was treasuring it. I used that trick last night as well, distracting Raphael just long enough to pull it off and enjoy the pleasant feeling of drunkenness for a while. The result was this very unexpected headache. Can I do anything about this?
Unfortunately, your cancel pain ability has also been weakened. The pain is likely to continue for the time being.
Oh, come
What a
on.
great-
That is so on purpose. I knew how angry Raphael was last time. I bet it's even worse now.
Understood. That fact cannot be confirmed. Bitch.
It's a fact, huh? And why isn't cancel pain working? It's got nothing to do with any of that. It's crazy.
Because fuck
My
you, that's
complaints-
why.
Wait, hold on. I just had a thought. If Great Sage gets sick, is that considered a head cold?
Yeah.
No, it's a computer virus.
Ah,
yeah, that's
you
it,
gotta
that's
get
better.
that looked
Yeah.
at.
Also, who's Great Sage?
Oh, Raphael.
Oh, yeah,
you
that's
know what
true.
I mean, bitch.
Ah.
Yeah.
I mean, Raphael is cool but rude.
It's true. He's no longer here.
Why
Raphael
you
got
gotta
that
be
sass.
So rude.
Oh.
Michelangelo is a party dude. Teenage Mutant
Ninja
Turtles.
Turtles,
Teenage
Teenage
in a half shell.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage
Turtles
Turtle
on the
power.
Churchill.
Heroes in a
Yep.
half shell. Turtle power.
Turtle power.
Yes.
Anyway.
It's got nothing to. Oh, my complaints apparently weren't making it to Raphael. I was not so graciously ignored, and so I had to fight that headache for a while afterwards. I regretted it a little and vowed to be more careful next time. Of course, I think that every time, so I'll probably make the same mistake again soon.
Yep.
Is that I'm
That's just
sorry.
Raphael, yeah.
I'm sorry. I know I did this, so please ease the pain a little. Raphael's exasperation was loud and clear. After a while, the pain went away. Let's try being a bit more careful for real. Or for real next time. Food, after all, can be a sort of a poison. Not eating it will kill you, but eating too much can wreck your body. Drinking, then, is the same thing, or was that stretching it a little too much? I mean, I should just sit back and enjoy the buzz a little more instead of trying to force matters. I just can't help but try and keeping up with my friends. After I stopped by a few places with Molly Mall and the gang, I decided to go on an inspection of the members only Elf Run Club on the 95th floor of the dungeon. This is the fanciest club in our nation, passing itself off as a place where only the truly elite gain entry. For now, it was open to our foreign dignitaries for advertising purposes, and that idea turned out to not be so smart of an idea.
No
The
shit.
place was hopping. Oh yeah, kind of a bad move on his part, but excuse me.
Dumbass.
The place was hopping, full of people who couldn't forget the music they experienced that day, and people arguing over the new potion discoveries they just learned about. Gazzo and Vesta were among them, and once we were spotted, I had to hang out with them a while. We hit it off, drinking and talking well into the night, and all the praise heaped up upon my friends spurred me to get really drunk. I regret that now, but I think anyone there would understand. I wasn't the only one. All the other dignitaries were the same, which, hey, they paid big money for the privilege, so it's all good. Besides, something else good came from it. A drunken Gazzo offered to help me with the gold coins we were missing.
There you go.
And then Archduke Erold came along and promised he'd bring our predicament under consideration. It was all thanks to the power of alcohol. ... And so, with somewhat fatigued faces, all of us prepared to tackle day 2 of the Founders Festival. We were at the newly completed Coliseum, a gigantic arena that comfortably seated 50,000. A roof that jutted over the stands kept direct sunlight from hitting them, extending in a U-shape.
I love how their money problems were solved by drunk world leaders.
Yeah, they just kind of forgot about it.
Literally,
You know how-
literally. Oh man, our money problems were solved by the drunken G20 summit.
Good.
Kind of.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah.
This is
Ugh.
how you solved an argument between two opposing diplomats. Just throw them in a room together and make them drunk. They'll hug it out
Yeah.
eventually.
No.
Or kill each other.
Yeah, they'll either kill each other or just laugh it off. Either one.
I see. That's how we'll solve this world crisis. Let's just get Zelensky and Putin in a room together with a lot of vodka.
Ooh, that could be an interesting
They'll
time.
finally open up and realize, and they'll be able to. It will kill. Okay, man.
They'll either kill each other or gay sex, one way or the other.
Someone,
Either way.
someone's going down either way. I mean,
Love it. It would work, Crafter. The idea is foolproof.
Fuck.
uh,
I was
yeah.
not.
It's so stupid, it might just work.
God, I was not ready for that. Fuck.
Sorry.
Yeah, now you know what it feels like for me when I'm not ready. I have to cough. I have that cough
Oh
regular.
God.
No, I was not ready for that laughter. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just. Excuse me.
Don't make me laugh from my belly like that when I just ate.
Okay, I will try.
Oh, man,
No problem.
I'm not ready for reverse. No.
Okay, you
Do
got.
not. Do
reverse,
not,
reverse.
do not play the reverse Uno card on my tummy like that, man.
Okay, you got it, man. It was composed of a thin membrane-like sheet stretched over a framework that looked like the wings of a dragon,
Oh boy.
which really was designed that way because I thought it looked cool.
Are
I
we
want
still
something
talking
all
about my
ominous.
tummy?
Yes. Looks
Yeah,
like the
I
wings
lost
of a
my
dragon.
place in the book and
A
I
thin
couldn't tell where
membrane?
we were
Still
at.
talking
Yeah,
about my
thin
tummy?
membrane.
Yeah.
Yes.
How's your tummy?
Insane in the membrane.
It also looked cool.
Insane in the brain.
Insane in the membrane.
Insane. Got no brain.
Does a membrane even have a brain? I don't know.
I wanted something all ominous like that.
Mm-hmm.
It really was there to block the sun, but that wasn't what anyone in attendance thought. They looked up at the eerie sight, telling one another about how surprised they were. Even got some of our weirder attendees oddly excited. The stands were full now, not an empty seat in the house. Malema had worked to get people into the Coliseum, and now his efforts are paying off. He didn't leave a single stone unturned. He might have been down in the dumps last night, but there was no doubting it. He was a damn capable man.
Mm-hmm.
The flat arena, yep. The flat arena space The stands surrounded was our combat zone, the floor built from gigantic stones carved and buried in the ground. These hard rocks, each around 6 feet square, were placed in neat tiles to form the foundation. The spaces between them were filled with cushioning that also glued them together, forming what looked like a completely smooth rock surface. I had crafted this in a short time we had to work with. Regular rock is over 300 times as solid as concrete. The type I use here was infused with a great deal of magicals, upping that hardness to 10,000 times, extending 6 feet into the ground. Not even a nuclear shelter could give you that kind of sturdiness. I haven't actually tried it, but I bet it would withstand a bout of nuclear magic without a problem. And it was impervious to both magic and physical attacks. Nice.
Hell yeah.
Around this rock floor arena were 2 defensive barriers. The first one was a large magic circle that covered the floor and extended out below the stands, covering the whole ground area so we could use this arena for battle training later. The second one was a circular zone 150 feet in diameter where spectators... hold on.
Could easily see.
Page? Hold on.
No, my name's Richie.
What the fuck? Okay. Where spectators could easily see it, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
It was within this magic space that the magic or the fighting would take place in this tournament. The purpose of these dual barriers was to ensure the arena stayed intact and keep stray fallout from hitting the stands. The first one blocked magic kills from getting in or out, but didn't block any abilities unleashed inside of it. This created fears that a powerful enough spell could impact the area around it, and that's where the second barrier came in. Things got really hairy in there. I could invoke Uriel on my ultimate skill and use it to trigger absolute defense. I really didn't want to show it off in public, and it beat having to deal with injured spectators. The skill triggered in an instant anyway, so I doubt anyone would even notice.
Having instead of and it beat, but it
Oh,
beat.
sorry. But it beat having to deal with injured spectators. The skill triggered in an instant anyway, so I doubt anyone would even notice. With all these precautions, I figured we were set to go. The 2 barriers alone should handle matters well enough. When my own staff fought in the arena, all bets were off, but the other fighters who were qualified for today wouldn't have enough firepower to break through them. Then again, I wasn't expecting Masayuki the hero to join in. Passions were high in the Colosseum. Why wouldn't they be? The battle tournaments in Iglesia were massive events held every year and featuring contests divided by adventure rank. In a world without many good entertainment options, a spectacle like this was a festival in itself. However, it wasn't actually open to the common classes. Only the moneyed were allowed in. The others had to sit tight and await the results. Some people would try getting a peek of the action from atop a roof or column, but I was sure it would have been too far away to see much. Compared to that, our Coliseum had tiered seatings, providing space for all the throngs, and there were even giant screens on all 4 sides showing the action. A nice extra service. Optical magic was inscribed on these screens, making enlarged imagery like this a snap. Some of the attendees at yesterday's presentation must have guessed it was an adaptation of the projector they saw previously. The screens here were drawing even more interest. Again, great PR for us. It was important to cover all the little details like this for our sales pitch. That's the first step to success, one of the lessons I learned during my time working for a company. So essentially, you could see the action from any seat in the arena, and the screens were there to give you a close-up vantage point. So I didn't think we'd be disappointing anyone here today. And all the competitors were approaching the center of the stage, forming a line that faced the VIP boxes that we were seated in. The screen showed each one in turn in enough detail that you could gauge their facial expressions. They all certainly looked unique in their own way, and I knew at least a few of them. Gupta and Geld, of course, but that wasn't all. I basked in the surprise as the introductions began. Each one would get their own little intro, the screens changing their viewpoints to offer a close-up view of the fighter being described. The announcer was Soka, a dragon new working under Soe, and she began by announcing the 6 winners of the Battle Royale rounds. First, our most popular competitor, winner of the first battle yesterday, his name is Masayuki the Hero. She was really getting into it, standing right in front of the competitors with her face unmasked. This wouldn't affect her work as a covert agent of ours, would it? Not a problem, Soe on standby next to me said when I asked. She's disguised when on duty, and Soka is particularly gifted at concealing herself. Besides, we need someone among our ranks to serve as a known figure for the purpose of public events. If that was his take, I saw no need for worry. She clearly had a gift for emceeing anyway. No one has seen his graceful sword skills in person. Why? Because the moment he takes out his blade, his opponent is already dead. So how did he win anything up to now? You could get away with that kind of hype in a street fight, maybe, but Masayuki was winning big tournaments, right? Maybe he would finish off a competitor in one blow, but could he trick an entire audience like that? How did his fight go yesterday? To be honest, there was little we could learn from it. As Soe put it, Masayuki hadn't even unsheathed his sword. Some of his friends were among those fighting in his round. They apparently dispatched all the other fighters, a good 50 of them, before conceding victory to Masayuki. There was no chance to gauge his skills at all. If he had this large fan base, he clearly had to have some ability, but I still couldn't shake the feeling this was all a big put on. Ah, well, we'll see what he's really made of in the match today. With his overwhelming force, he's become a household name, declaring himself a hero at his tender age. But what does Masayuki have in store for us today? Many are those charmed by his sweet face, and many are the women who swoon after one glance from him. Now it's time for all of us to count our blessings, as we're about to see him break out everything he's got. It's Masayuki! Yeah! The audience shouted, buying into Soka's hype. Masayuki was hugely popular, wasn't he? But, I mean, really? He's actually that popular? Also, did Soka come up with that script? If so, she's got a hidden talent. Half of that was pure garbage and the other half bare-faced praise. Where did Masayuki come from anyway? It all but melted my brain as I was listening to it. And it had to be hard for Masayuki, too. What if he got toted around like that and lost in the first round? I'd be too ashamed to show my face. If anything, it was a really mean-spirited way to introduce him. It had to be Soka backhandedly slamming him, I thought. No wonder she was Soei's closest assistant. Malicious. The next contestant was... Yeah, delicious, yes. The next contestant was Jinrai the Mad Wolf. He had a grizzled hero feel, and despite his shabby equipment, he just looked like a badass. One of Masayuki's friends, too, by the looks of things. One of Masayuki's friends, too. By the looks of things, he wasn't an A rank in terms of strength, but I still felt like you couldn't go easy on this guy. There was a secret lurking around him, and if you asked me, and I decided to keep a close eye on his match. Contestant number 3 was a named man, Guy, the Flowing Swordsman. I don't know how to say that. Whose skill? Guy. I think Guy.
Did we establish
Guy.
it's just Guy?
I think it's just Guy. Guy the
Yeah.
Flowing Swordsman. Whose skills with a blade were his main draw. He dances like a seasoned performer during battle, stealing the hearts of all who watch. Will he show us his graceful moves today as the blood sprays around him like crashing waves? Whoa, scary. Dancing around spraying blood is kind of twisted, isn't it? He didn't look as muscular as Jinrai, but depending on those sword skills, maybe he could rank an A? He didn't look that much of a threat, but I'm sure he was a talented adventurer. The 4th and 5th contestants were familiar to me. They were the chiefs of the Bovoids and the Equinoids, or the Equinoids. Why are they here? Or why are they here? I asked Soei. Well, there have been some rumors spreading around. Rumors? Oh, excuse me. Rumors? Yes, your offer of naming the champion one of the big 4. But what? For whatever reason, word had gotten out. I figured Gulpta or someone must have blabbed about it. As a consequence, a large number of monsters have requested last-minute entries in the Battle Royale matches, apparently, resulting in over 300 competitors in one raucous time at the arena yesterday. This included the Bovoid and the Equinoid leaders, competing against each other as much as the rest of the crowd, and they were both lucky enough to reach the quarterfinals. Or maybe luck wasn't involved. They were both formidable creatures. They were easily worth an A rank, and an adventurer off the street probably wouldn't stand a chance. Still, really, both of them? What's up? You okay?
Sonic.
Which one of you motherfuckers talked?
Yeah,
Look at you
it's
two,
true.
chat. No one's safe.
Look
know who
at
you
you,
are.
chat. Which one of you
Someone
fuckers
get
said
the
word?
Or the electric chair.
All right.
There were a few monsters ranked A- in each of their preliminary rounds, apparently, but they literally trounced them all, throwing them around like ragdolls. That's what being such powerful Bovoids and Equinoids got for you. Or to be more specific, the winner of the 4th preliminary, Bovix. Ah, right. I named that leader of the Bovids Bovix. And to keep from playing favorites, I'd also name the Equinoid head Equix. Pauses. Good names. This was, of course, so I could have them serve as bosses inside my labyrinth. I wanted one of them to rule the roost down on floor 50, or as I suggested to them, maybe even swap duties regularly. They said they had sworn their faith to me, so I didn't hesitate to put them to work in exchange for naming them. I was used to how this process worked by now, so I tried to hold back my magical energy as much as I could when naming them, but they went and involved on me anyway. Bolvix was now a Taroid, while Equix became a Centoid, and given that they were both A rank before, they had become far stronger than I expected. Plus, question. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Question. Am I allowed to apply an experimental skill gift to the subject Bovix? Yes, no.
Professor Raphael seemed awfully excited about the idea. Apparently, in addition to combine and disassemble and ability adjust, there was a high chance that Beelzebub's food chain ability could be reversed to grant a skill to a named target. The conditions and compatibilities involved were a bit tricky. Raphael was eager to try it out, so I thought yes to myself.
Report granting the extra skill ultra speed regeneration to the subject Bovix. Granted.
The professor pulled it off. Bovix had already received extra skill self-regeneration when he evolved, and Raphael just applied ability adjust to that. What a surprise! And in much the same way, Equix just acquired magic interference, granting both of them a unique addition to their arsenal. It was clear that Bovix could become a melee attack specialist now, while Equix would focus on magic attack. And Raphael's experimentation didn't end there. The guy even managed to give them an ability I'd never heard of before, the unique gift known as Determiner. This gift allowed the user to create a space that restricted the powers of the target, a sapping skill that sort of combined the ultimate skill Uriel's unlimited imprisonment and dominate space. But it was an inferior version, easily resisted. The space it created was readily cancelled out by the target. Not very restrictive at all, really, but if the caster was vastly stronger than the target, they could still drag them into a dedicated space where they'd have an advantage in battle. So a little innovation could still make it useful. It depended on the opponent, really. In an evenly matched battle, it'd never succeed, but could still trick a foe if you used it right. In fact, you might even be able to use it as a defensive barrier to reduce that foe's attack. And if you built a space around yourself where magic was prohibited, you could do some really neat stuff with it. Equix would be working in the labyrinth too, so maybe he could use this skill to dangle some bait in front of adventurers, offering to make more treasure chests appear or whatever. With this skill, the pair looked more like boss level foes than ever. And they joined this tournament only because they were attracted to the completely cosmetic title of Big Four. So, yes, apparently they had a bet going with each other. Whoever won it joined the Big Four, and whoever lost became the boss of Floor 50. It gave me a headache, really. Sorry, go ahead. What?
Laughing at the idea of that.
Oh. They just bet against each other. I mean, it
Yeah.
works. Yeah. It gave me a headache, really, but then I suppose those two were a perfect fit for this tournament. Next, we have Bovix's eternal rival, Equix. They fought for 100 years, and still their conflict continues. Will we see a final resolution here in the arena? Their combined powers will soon summon new winds of carnage, lashing across the entire tournament. Soka
They'll
nimbly
just
weaved together the
give them
words.
some alcohol and throw them in a room. They'll solve it. They'll figure it out.
Yeah. She was... It's true.
Damn it.
Bringing it back around, guys.
She was loving this, and clearly she had the talent. She had good looks, too. No, I didn't seem to like her. There was the tail and wings and horns to consider, but that didn't get in the way of being cute, really. And what's more, either Bovix here or Equix here will become one of the masters of the dungeon, scheduled to open in town tomorrow. So behold their strength today, and if you feel worthy of the challenge, summon your courage and plunge into the labyrinth in search of fame and fortune. Actually, she was beyond loving this, advertising the labyrinth and for me and everything. Tomorrow was its grand opening, and much of the audience probably didn't have any idea of what it was yet. And given how strong this pair was, would there be anyone stout-hearted enough to tackle it? I feared this was a tactical blunder on our part, but then many adventurers in this world did tend to overestimate their abilities. Let's hope a lot of them will dive in, attracted by all the money and prizes. Molly Moya had all kinds of plans underway for it. It ought to be fine. So, which of them was going to win? Depending on the draw, they might never actually face each other. After all this build-up, if one of them got whipped here, it'd sure make us look pretty lame. A lot would depend on the battles to unfold today, but if they didn't pan out, people might think the dungeon was a big pushover. We'd have to tackle that possibility if it happened. Besides, if people thought they'd have an easy time in here, they'd just attract more challengers looking to strike it rich. No need to rig the drawing, though. Let's just see how this works out. Still, Equix was the 5th challenger. That left 3 to go, and just 1 from yesterday's rounds. Moving on, our 5th competitor, the mysterious masked man who showed unbeatable strength yesterday. Under his lion mask, he remains anonymous. Is he a defender of justice or a servant of evil? And how will he charm us all on the battlefield today? The moment I laid eyes on Lion Mask, I spat out the juice I was drinking. Soe? Is that... Yes, there's no mistaking him. He didn't name him, but Soe was just as sure of his identity. Didn't Diablo tell me none of them would be a concern? What is he, blind? That or Diablo was being way overconfident. But forget about Diablo a moment. I could see a trio in the arena cheering Lion Mask on, tears in their eyes. One was tall and with a tensed up body, a gentle face, and an earring. Another was a huge pile of muscle with a nose ring, and the third was short, squat, and straight up fat with a pierced lip. They had wild hairstyles and funky colors, and well, why beat around the bush? These were Dagrel's sons. You tell because they had clothing on with slogans like Shion Fan Club and Shion for Life on them. That's them, all right. Good. Ever since Shion beat the crap out of them, they become her biggest fans. Yeah, that's fair. Maybe this was some sort of masochistic fetish they developed after getting their asses handed to them. I don't know. That's not a world I want to get intimate with. I do, though. Excuse me. I wanted to ask if they were feeling alright, but I suppose that if you didn't know Shion, you'd see her as this cool, intelligent beauty. That's how I thought of her at first, too, actually. But who cares? Let them be. It's a matter of time before they learn the truth and their dreams are shattered, but that was the life they chose. We had agreed to keep a half-hearted eye on them and put them under Shion's training, but... Hey, Soe, why is that trio cheering for Lion Mask? Because they all lost him yesterday, I would imagine. Aha. They might have looked like jokes, but they did have the magical energy of a former demon lord. Shion had whipped them thanks to their lack of battle antics, but they weren't pushovers at all. In fact, they probably still ranked above the recently mauled Bilvix and Eklix. And if this masked fighter beat all three of them at once, there was no longer much doubting his identity. How disappointing. I'll need to work them even harder now.
I'm assuming
seemed-
everybody here knows who Lion Mask is.
Yeah, that's, fuck, what's his
The
name?
greatest warrior of all time is what he is.
God fucking
Yeah.
damn it.
Gotcha.
He's gonna win the whole
Yep.
fucking thing.
Everybody here knows it's Demon Lord Carrion, or former Demon Lord Carrion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
It's not.
It's the
Uh,
mask he wore.
Not
back
even,
when...
not
That makes
even.
sense.
No, it's not
Yeah.
the same mask. It's not
It's
the same
not?
mask. No. Like, okay, here's the funny thing. If you actually, actually, it might. No, it might actually be. He is kind of that dumb.
Are you talking about Rimuru?
No, I'm talking about Carrion.
Oh.
This is
Yeah,
the
he's
mask
Lion
he's wearing.
Mask. Is this like Chopper Mask? I love Chopper Mask.
All right. Anyway,
It
go.
does make him look like a lion, man.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if it's the exact same mask. It doesn't look like the mask he wore in the anime, but then again, this is the light novel, so the art style could be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All bets are off, yeah.
Yeah. So all bets could be off. I don't know if it's the same mask he
But
wore.
the masks stay on.
Yeah. During combat.
He is kind of an idiot.
Yep.
So
Shion seemed angry at them, but honestly, I had some pity for the brothers. They messed with the wrong guy is all. They were too cocky for their own good, I'm sure, but against a former demon lord who still packed one of the meanest punches in the world, it
yep.
was like a grown-up pitted against a team of kindergartners, yeah. It'd be crazy to expect them to win. Excuse me. Still, though, all three of them getting thrown into the same match against that monster? Talk about bad luck on all sides. One of them could have had a chance at the grand prize if things had worked out otherwise, but Shion was revving to train them more than ever now, so let's look forward to that. And I've just received a message from a certain anonymous fan. It says, I can't be here, but you better do your best for me. I know you know this, but don't let anyone discover your secret identity, no matter what. Good luck. Whatever could that mean? I don't know, but it sounds like a message or a nice message of support for Lion Mask. Of course she knew.
Fucking
Sucker knew, and
Millum.
she was enjoying it.
Fucking
Yeah,
Millum.
of course.
I thought it was
Had Millum
Veldora.
gotten in touch with her at some point.
God
What?
fucking damn it.
This isn't
Good.
like Veldora and like with
No,
doing-
this is
revealing someone
100%
else's
Mill.
identity again.
This is
Yeah.
to be fair, it's the same family.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The same
I mean,
family.
at first I thought Veldora, but I'm like, it's Millum. It has to be Millum. The way it's phrased.
I feel like,
to be fair,
Oh.
they kind of share a brain cell.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I figured that if it was Veldora, he would put "Gah" in like
that's
the
also
actual
true.
letter.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
also true.
Millum Cup would do the same thing. To some extent.
No.
I don't know if it's exactly
No.
the
Oh
same.
my god.
She's-
Oh my god. That sounds like
Uh.
something that they would do. The next tournament should be called the Millum Cup.
The
Yeah.
Millum Cup.
Yeah,
The Millum Melee.
the Millum Melee. All right, anyway.
Millum Combat!
No.
Right now.
No, stop. Stop, please.
Okay.
Before my brain gets broken anymore, please stop. All right, let's go.
Okay. Right now, according to what she had told me, at least, Millum was busily applying the final touches to the labyrinth. I let her go since it beat her getting in my hair over here, but I never thought she'd meddle with me like this. I didn't call Veldora over here either. He should be with Milam and Ramirez right now, having fun building the dungeon and losing all sense of time. I didn't want him getting too excited and raising the place, which was one reason I didn't invite him. Milam throwing an underling into the arena was a surprise, but Veldora, at least, didn't have anyone like that to turn to. So who would win it all
Thank
here?
God.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You just, well. So who would win it all here? Lion Mask had a massive strength advantage over everyone else, while
I'll
Geld
be
couldn't
right
match
back.
that.
I gotta
Okay. I figured he had the best chance of him out of everyone, or anyone. I wanted him to win, but it'd be an uphill battle, huh? At least Lion Mask's victory wouldn't lead to any problems unless they were some kind of double KO situation with Geld. I also wanted to see what would happen if he drew Masayuki. The hero had to fight sometime, after all, if he wanted to win, right? Either way, good luck to the guy. Those were the 6 qualifiers from yesterday. I just left the special entries. And now, to introduce the strongest of the strong, the greatest among the government officials of Tempest, 2 Titans joining us in the Colosseum. Each of them boasts the offensive force of 1,000, and if they win, they've been promised a position in Sir Reamer's vaunted Big Four. The rumor had already spread like wildfire, but hearing the term Big Four get bandied about was honestly embarrassing. For Shion, though, it was a badge of pride. And I could see the monsters in the audience looking at Gupta and Geld with awe. Everyone seemed to see a lot more value in the Big Four than I originally envisioned. First, the elite fighter whose aloof demeanor makes all the girls go wild. The warrior captain who takes his genius in stride. Gupta! Ladies and gentlemen, what are we going to see from him today? Aloof? Are you sure you're using that word right? Gupta was visibly pale up there on the arena floor. I thought I could hear him internally shouting, "I'm out of here!" I could see why. He was completely outclassed by Lion Mask. If they were to face each other in battle, he'd be beaten beyond half to death, even if the guy went easy. Sorry, Gupta, I wasn't quite expecting this. If you want to resent anyone for this, resent Milam for putting her ringer in on a total lark. But hey, if Gupta really strove for it, maybe who could tap into some kind of hidden strength, you know? For all he knew, or all we knew, he might suddenly awaken to amazing powers, likes of which not even I've spotted on him so far. This ought to be fun. I could see the path ahead for Gupta was just beginning. Anyway, that just left Geld. And with the warm-up acts introduced, I now present to you the star performer, Sir Geld, the High Orc Savior, the guardian angel of Tempest. His iron wall defense repels all would-be attackers. Whoa there, Soka. Did you really call everyone up to now, Gupta included, warm-ups and give Geld more of a straight-up intro? He'd been a top official for a while, yes, but someone's got some favoritism towards the orcs. I get it, though. But, you know, Gupta's an old veteran by now, too, I guess. Or I guess it's just a matter of status. If Gupta somehow wins this, maybe Sokka would start treating him like a little differently. Now, we have all 8 competitors in the ring. Who's going to reign supreme? The fateful moment is about to arrive. Oops. She was done introducing everyone. It was my turn, to step up and give an intro. I forgot I was supposed to say some opening words in front of the fighters. I didn't want to look like I was panicking. That'd just be sad. Rigard was taking care of our dignitaries for me, so I left Benimaru to guard them, ordering Soe to watch over the whole of the arena for me. Then I stood up and headed over, trying to act calm and composed as I used Dominate Space to connect a path from the VIP seats to the main arena. When I passed through to the other side of Shion, I was greeted by deafening applause. Ah! I can't,
Yeah.
the side of me filled our residence. That's my best. A lot of people cheering at once with me having a cold.
Yeah, we love you.
It's like that. It's like
Yeah, there was much rejoicing.
There you go.
Oh, the side of me filled our residence, and those from nearby nations with excitement. I had to respond to them. It gave me a little stage fright, but I worked hard to act all high and mighty like a demon lord should. Taking the mic from Sokka, I turned to the competitors. Fighters, if you survive through the end of today and win the final round tomorrow, I will grant you the glory of my nation. Does that work? I kept my pace slow, giving my best shot at a voice of authority. Next up, I suppose I ought to give a little encouragement to each of the entrants. Masayuki the hero, win, and I will invite you to challenge me. We had already worked out that promise. Masayuki didn't look the least bit happy about it. In fact, he winced as if to say, what do I get out of that? Nope, it just didn't seem like he wanted to fight at all. I couldn't hate him for that. My eyes went from him to the next fighter. Mad Wolf Jinrai, right? Masayuki's friend. And you're Mad Wolf Jinrai, correct? Do you have any requests? Sokka definitely brought another mic to Jinrai. Oh, I wasn't expecting you to talk to me, too. I have only one hope, and that's to help Masayuki. Sorry, but there's no way I'm going to be champion. But instead of that, I'm sure the hero's going to defeat you for us. Okay. If Jinrai draws Masayuki, then that battle is pretty much decided already. No, I guess he's not going to win. Very well. In light of your sportsmanship, no matter what results we see, I will prepare a new weapon and armor set for you. Please consider it a token of my respect for a gallant warrior. Given the occasion, I figured a reward along those lines was suitable. Masayuki's band joining the tournament certainly put a lot more butts in our seats. But I wanted to repay him for it, but more than that, I wanted to impress the world with how big-hearted I was. Well, if you're given, I'm taken. But don't think you can win me over with bribery, okay? With a vinyl snort, he handed the mic back to Soka. He had a lot of sass, but I thought my kindness came across to him. He wouldn't have had accepted it all otherwise. Next, I faced Guy, the flowing swordsman. He spoke first. Demon Lord, I am far more powerful than that hero over there. If I win, you'll fight with me, won't you? That came out of nowhere. I was a terrible ad-libber, so I wasn't sure how to respond, but then I received some unexpected help. That is very rude, Sir Rimuru. If you insist upon it, then I will be glad to engage with you after you emerge as champion. Win against me, and I will make the request to Sir Rimuru himself.
Pause.
Diablo, what's up?
Spider, thank you for the 9 months. Sorry,
Yeah,
continue.
thank you.
Cool.
All good. Diablo, our referee at the side of the arena, flashed a cold smile as he spoke to Guy. Whew, yeah, let's just leave this to Diablo. I didn't need any more trouble in my life. At the moment, I said, I've made a personal promise to the hero. But if anyone else here wishes to challenge me, I invite you to defeat a Big Four member first to prove your strength. Do that, and I will gladly accept your request. This Big Four concept was proving kind of versatile. I could use it in all kinds of ways, this one included. The more you know. Soka finally got around to giving Guy a mic. A fine way to dodge the question. So be it. To the hero, to that Demon Lord, and to you, Demon Lord. Know that you will all be bowing to me soon. Oh boy. Talk about being way over your head. He should really save that talk for after he wins. Better end this conversation before Diablo loses his temper. Flowing swordsman Guy. If you should emerge as champion, I will grant you the special right to challenge me. How's that sound? Screw it. Let's move on. He's not gonna, after all, so no need to overthink that promise much. I can hear Guy snort and say, you better keep your word. But my eyes had already turned to Bovix and Equix. The two of them promptly took a knee. I expect big things from you both, even if you fail to win in this arena. Remember that you will be rulers of your domain in the labyrinth. Do not disappoint us. Did that sound good? It came across a bit like a threat, but I couldn't have a labyrinth boss fleeing for his life in public. They were free to lose, but I wanted them to show off at least a little before they did. Yes, my lord. By the name you granted me, I, Bovix, swear I will not stain your reputation as I get everything I have in this battle. And I, Equix, promise you we will honor your glory. As members of this great nation, we will bestow great prestige to it in our fighting. Good. A little stiff, but at least they were prepared for battle. And even if they lost, they could take turns guarding their area halfway down the dungeon. I didn't think either of them had a chance here, but let's just make sure they don't embarrass themselves. Which brought us to this guy. Lion Mask, don't be too reckless up here, okay? Whoa, that's all you got for me? Be serious. I am serious, so, yeah. There was nothing I could say to him. I could ask him to withdraw or wish him good luck, but it all just seemed so weird. I'd be willing to cheer for him depending on who he drew, but if he got paired with, for example, Gupta, that'd be a nightmare. Masayuki would be a perfect opponent for him, but I wasn't going to pin my hopes on that. If his identity got exposed somehow, that shakes people's faith in all of us. It'd be a huge wasted opportunity. Honestly, I couldn't do much apart from hope, or from hope for the luck of the draw. Onward. Gupta, great job making it this far. I just know you can win this. I believe in you. I gave him the best pep talk I could, completely ignoring his response. Nowhere to run for him. I was sure he'd do his best to win in his own way, and that just left Geld. Geld, you're a strong orc. I want you to use that strength to the hilt in this tournament. Yes, Sir Rimuru. I expected big things from him. I wish I heard some of that from you, I could hear Gupta say, but I was done with him. Geld was more the strong, silent type, so we were finished in that short order.
Jesus.
The rest I was sure he'd demonstrate with his actions. Good.
I love how underestimated Gopta is.
Yeah.
Even by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, thanks, Rimuru.
Believe in you.
All right. After that, it was time to draw the matchings for the tournament. We'll be staging the quarter and semifinals matches today, with the champion fight slated for tomorrow. I meant 6 fights today, and we weren't going to hold a third-place match, so tomorrow would consist of a single bout. The competitors all drew numbers at random. Masayuki number 3, Jinrai number 4, Guy number 5, Bovix number 1, Equix number 2, Lion Mask number 8, Gupta number 6, and Geld number 7. These were then put in a bag and picked one at a time. The resulting pairings were being added to an on-stage bracket. The results: Match 1, Bovix versus Equix. Match 2, the hero Masayuki versus Mad Wolf Jinrai. Match 3, Flowing Swordsman Guy versus Gupta. Match 4, Geld versus Lion Mask. The drawing was completely fair, so I couldn't complain, but damn, Masayuki was lucky. That was basically a bye he drew for the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, poor Geld, huh? Facing Lion Mask first thing and all. Could he win? I was honestly interested. It was definitely an exciting matchup, even though I couldn't welcome it with open arms. In terms of testing out Masayuki, it was pretty much the worst drawing possible. Whoever won match 2 would be facing him in the semis. And Bovix versus Equix would be a hell of a match too. The problem was it was too good a match, one bound to exhaust both sides and leave the winner completely out of gas against a fresh, untouched Masayuki. Meanwhile, the top fighter from matches 3 and 4 would go on to the finals, but if we wound up with Gota duking it out against Geld in the semis, they'd also be too tired to thoroughly test Masayuki's skill. Plus, Lion Max was in the mix, and him versus Geld was, as I said, to fight up there with Bovix and Equix in excitement. I didn't know how serious Carry On Lion Mask was about this tournament. The Geld did have a lot of strength by now. Having them both fight each other in the first round, I just couldn't believe that draw. It was like destiny itself arranged things so Masayuki would have as easy a time as possible. Well, no point whining about it. I could make all the predictions I wanted, but nobody knew how this would turn out. While I pondered that, the first match was already about to begin. And there's an asterisk.
That is now time for Moon to take over.
Yay.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yay.
The other fighters stepped out of the arena, moving back to their waiting area. Bovix and Equix stood at the center, staring each other down and talking trash. Hey there, Equix. We should have settled this score long ago, just the two of us. Our fates have intertwined for far too long. I hope you're ready to end it here. Don't be stupid, Bovix. I, Equix, am the only one worthy to serve in Sir Rimaru's elite Big Four. It'd be far more suitable for you to hole up in the labyrinth, enjoying your retirement.
Bruh, just really quickly.
Yup.
This is how much you chewed through. I want you to understand how much you read. You chewed through practically 18 pages, dude.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You were reading pretty quick.
Yeah, sorry.
That's good. That's
fine.
good.
Yeah.
That's absolutely good. You chewed through 18 pages. We have to make it to 217. We're at 179 right now of the physical stuff.
Good.
We're almost at 180. So, yeah, dude. Batmoon. All right, so go for it.
I am Batmoon.
All right, keep going. Sorry.
Silence. Why would the likes of you ever deserve to be in the all-dominating Big Four?
And now we're
Without
at 180.
warning, their battle began. They were both close quarters power types, axe and shield against spear and shield in a pitched battle.
37.
Seeing them fight, you could tell they were melee types, not the sort to cast magic or other arts. Bovix hefted his large axe upward, swinging it down toward the floor, but it clanged against Equix's shield as he pushed it back. It brought Bovix's body down, and Equix wasted no time advancing with his spear, but a nimble backstep from Bovix had its tip whistling through the thin air. The battle continued for a good 20 minutes, an edge-of-your-seat balance between offense and defense that showed no signs of letting up. They had fought for the past 100 years, and this duel didn't look like it'd end any sooner. The breathtaking monster battle kept the crowd wrapped with excitement. After all, one rarely, if ever, had a chance to see two monsters of their level fight from such a close distance away. Normally, you could go your entire life without witnessing a duel between two A-rankers like this. They were evenly matched, and that was why the battle extended so long. It was fun to watch, but it came to an abrupt end. It's over! Ow. Bovix moved to finish things, throwing his great axe, a projectile attack that could pulverize boulders, capable of breaking both its target and the weapon they were holding. Equix's left arm exploded off him, flying through the air. He had sacrificed it to stop Bovix's throw. But he just smiled. That was exactly what Equix wanted, and in a single moment, he closed the gap between him and Bovix. Bovix was no doubt expecting Equix to dodge his axe entirely, and this new move left him unprepared for this assault. It ends here. Take this, Equine Spear Flail! Equix was at his chest, and the flurry of spear strikes he unleashed was impossible to avoid. With no way to dodge them, Bovix suffered a succession of stab wounds all at once. Equix was willing to literally give an arm for his victory, and now he had it, or so he thought. Not so fast! Lightning Horn! With a roar, Bovix landed a headbutt on Equix with his horns. Lightning crackled up and down them as they extended out twice as long as before. They were vicious weapons, and they tore into Equix's right eye and arm. That settled the battle. The spear fell out of Equix's useless limb, and as electricity shot through where the horns had stabbed him, searing his wounds. It almost looked like the blood was being boiled out of him. Equix had gained the self-regeneration skill during his evolution, but the lightning damaged him far faster than he could heal himself. Bovix, meanwhile, had ultra-speed regeneration, and the massive holes in his chest and stomach were already closing up. The battle was his. Oh, God.
I know.
Yep.
Injuries that normally cause instant death were no problem with ultra-speed regeneration. And with self-regeneration, even Equix's many wounds were starting to heal themselves. By the time they left the arena, they were both back to normal. Equix already groaning about how he'd get him next time, glad to see he was well. But it was over. Bovix was the first to advance, his masterful fighting earning him cheers from the crowd. What a way to kick off this tournament. Seriously, though, seeing it in action again, Ultra Speed Regeneration was almost like cheating.
Says the guy
Equix
that has it.
Yeah, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yes, ECU,
Yes.
you're all sick.
Every
All
guy.
four of us.
Absolutely. It sucks.
Yeah, every single one of us.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Equix no
fucking
doubt
great.
used the tactic. Yeah. Equix no doubt used the tactics that had served him well in the past. That onrush, followed by a flurry of spear stabs, would have ended most contests. That was why he didn't fear those obviously fearsome horns for a moment. And that cost him dearly. I hope this taught him a lesson. He'd need, I thought, to be more careful, eyeing his foe and figuring out where his aces in the hole were.
Mm.
Match 2 pitted the hero Masayuki against Jinrai the Mad Wolf. And as everyone knew in advance, it ended with a forfeit for the hero. The two of them just shook hands in the center of the arena, and that triggered wild cheering and applause. It made no sense. Why would a handshake whip the crowd into such a frenzy? I could hear them shouting, "The hero has done it again," and so forth. Why was he so popular? It was alien to me. Well, I resolved to stop thinking about things I couldn't change. On to the next fight. Match 3 was the Flowing Swordsman Guy against Gopta. How would it turn out? By the looks of it, Guy qualified for the rank of A, if barely. His weapon and armor were all rare level goods, proving that as an adventurer, he was among the best in the business. But Gopta had a set of unique class armor. I didn't think he was Guy's match in skill, but add all their traits together, and you had a pretty decent matchup. Ready? And begin! The battle started at Soka's signal. Ha! With a short breath, Guy planted his feet down and thrust his sword. It was a sharp thrust, and I saw where the flowing part of his nickname came from. Excellent work, but Gopta's chest guard blocked it. Wah! Wah! Such fine armor for petty infantry. Gah! That's too fast! This happened just after the starting signal. Gopta didn't even have enough time to remove his dagger. God damn it, I said to myself, scolding him. You're leaving yourself far too open. Gopta's armor staved off the blow, but it wouldn't next time. It was Guy's excessive self-confidence that saved him there. But next time, he'd clearly go for a joint or some other unprotected spot. Pfft, how about this? He unleashed a dancing slash, striking at Gopta multiple times. Gopta managed to dodge them all, already at the end of his rope and practically on the verge of tears.
Oh.
By the look on his face, he was probably aiming to get run out of the ring and disqualified. Victory was quickly off the table. He was just trying to protect himself, and that might have been the right answer. But I wish he could have tried a little harder. Given how interesting a match this looked like on paper, Gopta's reaction was a disappointment. I thought that settled it, but tantalizingly enough, the battle just refused to end. Gopta kept sliding over to the edge of the arena, and Guy kept cutting him off. Is he toying with him? Who was saying that? Oh, that's Shion.
Shion.
I'm not even about to try.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to be a very nice person. No, Gupta is hardly gallant himself, but I find this man's behavior quite distasteful. Shion and I were in agreement. Now I kind of wanted Gupta to win. Ha ha ha! Think you can run from me, you peon? Guy fought with a bastard sword. Its length somewhat between short and long, or somewhere between short and long. He also had a gauntlet on his left hand that he... Hold on. On his left hand that he landed punches with. No doubt to devastating effect. It was an unusual fighting style, and when he came at you with both arms raised, it was hard to guess exactly what he'd do. To Gupta, who learned more standard swordsmanship, it was no doubt a tricky foe to juggle. Still, Guy never landed any decisive wound. The only real blow so far was the very first one on Gupta's chest plate. Gupta's being very observant, Shion remarked. You wouldn't be able to dodge those sword strikes for so long unless you could keep up with how he moved his weapon. She had high praise for him, and so did I. He did take a few punches, but any sword slashes were always met and deflected with his dagger. All right, come on, Gupta, stay focused. Show me what's in you and beat this guy. I'll give you a raise in your allowance, and if you win the whole tournament, I'll give you that new fishing pole you wanted. Really? Then I'm pulling out my last resort, okay? If he had a last resort, I really wished he'd used it sooner. But regardless, my encouragement seemed to do the trick. He actually wanted to fight. I wasn't exactly thrilled with resorting to bribery with him, but with someone as lazy as Gupta, that should have been my first tactic. I mean, I already had Geldin there. I didn't expect much out of Gupta, but with things as they were, I really needed a full effort from him. Gah! Don't try to look smart around me, peon. The likes of you could never beat the strongest out there. Guy continued to give chase, laughing the whole way. He was no doubt sure of his victory, not even bothering to keep an eye on Gupta. But now Gupta was prepared to do anything to win, and thus Guy was doomed. Summon! Okay, come on over! Gupta was head of the Goblin Riders, and of course that meant he could summon a Star Wolf and unify with it. This gave him Magicule energy on the level of an A- monster, combined with the sword skills drummed into him by Hakuro. Against someone like Guy, he could more than hold his own. Again, though, why didn't you just do this first, man? Damn it, Gupta! He just wanted to lose this ASAP, I knew it. But at least now he was serious about it. Huh? Wha? Summoning, eh? But a dark direwolf is no threat to... Then Guy fell silent. The dark-colored wolf Gupta had summoned had smashed into him at top speed. The swordsman was wrong. Gupta hadn't summoned a direwolf of any sort, a C- or D level threat. At best. Instead, this dark wolf, wagging his tail and pinning Guy to the ground as he licked him, it couldn't have been anyone but Ranga. Ranga, what are you doing? Quite a tactic. I must hand it to Ranga. Wait, who the fuck?
That's
Shion.
Rimuru.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
No,
Quite
that's
a
Shion.
tactic. I must hand it to Ranga. He's become quite the schemer. I don't think so, Shion. I really don't think so. Gupta looked just as surprised as us, so I didn't think he meant to do that. This was purely Ranga's doing. He must have barged into Gupta's summoning without asking. And here I thought he was sleeping in my shadow. I had no idea he'd hatched this sort of plan. Soka ran up to Guy, then turned toward Diablo. Guy is unconscious. A brilliant move. I think the battle's over. Diablo, the referee, his face deadpan, ruled this a valid tactic. He had to have recognized Ranga, right? I mean, I knew he was in a smaller, regular wolf size, but... Oh well. They got along that much, I knew. Or they got along that much, I knew. And the winner is... Gupta! Oh, God.
Yay!
Sokka's proclamation was drowned out by the cheers. Given the lack of booing from the crowd, everyone must have accepted summons as fair game in this match. Really? No, really? Whispered Gupta. Nobody heard him in the roar. But, can we really get away with this? Summoning magic is explicitly allowed in the rules. I would think it is not a problem. I don't care. Well, if Rieger thought
Yeah.
so, then all right. But Ranga decided to join in, huh? Are you sure this isn't an infraction? Because up to now, I'd given Go up to 0 chance of winning his first round. But with Ranga, there was no telling any longer. Considering my initial goal of testing out Masayuki's skills, maybe this was a blessing in disguise. Right, time to stop worrying about it. I defiantly decided to let it go. Match 4, Geld versus Lion Mask, was another one worth watching. Nice to see I can kick ass for the first time in a while, huh? Lion Mask was certainly ready for this. Being able to cross arms with such a vaunted warrior is a very unexpected surprise. I will make the most of this chance to fight such a seasoned opponent and tackle you with everything I have. With that, Gelv removed the top half of his armor and readied his fists. Oh, you want to fight barehanded? Nice. That's another one of my specialties. He took his own stance against Geld. What followed was one for the ages, a battle that was sure to go down in the history of this tournament. It was fist against fist, generating great shockwaves of force that sent howling winds across the arena. Geld didn't use kicks at all, battling exclusively with punches and throws, while shuffling his legs to maintain balance. No matter what attack was thrown at him, he didn't waver at all. It was, what do you call it? The peekaboo style? A term I remembered seeing in one boxing manga or another. At the same time, the punches
Fucking
he
Mike
threw...
Tyson.
The punches he
peekaboo
threw...
style. It's Mike Tyson's specialty.
The punches he threw, as he looked for openings, even the ones meant to keep his opponent in check, had the power of a cannon tucked inside. That was thanks to his lower body, the base of the cannon, transferring all the kinetic energy in his body to his fists. But his fists weren't his only threat. He had shoulder attacks, and if they got caught in a grapple, he could perform throws. Lion Mask, meanwhile, was an all-around fighter who could launch just about anything at any time. His arsenal was extensive. His physique, virtually the equal of Geld's. There would be no overwhelming him with power. In this world, magicule energy meant a lot more than external looks, so Lion Mask may as well have been stronger than Geld. But not even he could stay on the attack for long, a testament to Geld's superior defensive skills. Kicks that could crush rocks slammed against his arms, attempting to throw him off balance. But Geld paid them no mind. So Lion Mask attempted every other trick in the book, jabs, chops, roundhouses, and axe kicks from all directions. All this at speeds that fooled you into thinking there were multiple Lion Masks. The flurry of attacks all nimbly hit home, but none of them affected a defense-focused Geld. Ha! Man, this is fun! You're taking my blows like they're a passing breeze. I am the one who should be complaining, Geld replied, frustration in his voice. You give me no chance to counter you. Your attacks seem rough, but each one is well refined. He was holding out well enough for now, but he must have felt that things would only go downhill from here. Lion Mask's strength was the real thing, and there was no telling how deep down it went. That way he'd unleash blows that cut through his armor, far enough out of range to avoid counters. It reminded me of an attack helicopter. It was clear who had the upper hand, but it took more than strength to decide a battle. Sometimes luck played a part, and who would Lady Luck smile upon today? The crowd was growing more passionate by the moment. Whoa! Wow, what is that? Someone shouted at the top of their lungs. A bag of fries from the food stalls in one hand. Others were excitedly cheering, their faces reddened from the beer they were drinking. The crowd knew just how amazing these fighters were, and it made them roar their approval. Geld the calm, reserved, professional against Lion Mask, whose aura just made you want to worship him. This fight definitely made a known name out of the two of them. Come on. There we go. The blows they exchanged were devastating, but they didn't seem any closer to resolving this. It was 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, both fighters keeping it even as time wore on. The same held true after half an hour, an excited Soka offering her commentary the whole way. Even Diablo kept close watch over them, eyes deadly serious. 20 minutes later, "You've done well to hold out against me this long. My compliments to you. It is an honor receiving such praise from such a lofty figure. Enough flattery. But let me ask you something. Anything. Why aren't you using any skills? Isn't it evident? Because you still have not shown your true self to me. You call me a lofty figure, but you were aiming to win? Interesting. I can't show you my full true self, but I can show you some real moves. They spoke as they kept up the onslaught. The audience couldn't have heard it, but I picked it all up through Diablo's ears. Geld's lack of skill usage was a mystery to me as well, but that was why. Geld wanted to fight against Lion Mask, and not an unconditional victory? Lion Mask, or let's say it, Carrion, could animalize at any time to unlock his full force in battle.
Animalize.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
It sounded like you
Analyze.
said analyze. Sorry.
No, he.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said animalize.
Okay.
Animalize, yes.
Sorry.
His current form was just a temporary one. He couldn't tap his full potential like this.
With everyone kind of all coughing together, it's kind of
It's-
hard.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
It's
know.
like.
Let's cough in unison to get it out of our system.
That's not gonna work. Geld knew it, and
Let's
that
all
was
have a
why he
coughing
fought
break.
strictly with his own body.
5 minutes.
And a good snort for measure. Ah, shit. Okay, where the
We
fuck
threw him
was
off
I?
his groove.
I was sure he did.
Sir, I'm
to
afraid
get
we've
that
thrown.
serious.
Sir, I'm
Mother-
afraid you've
I-
thrown off the Rita's groove.
Whoops.
I was sure he didn't want to get that serious with the fight in public, of course.
Mm.
That anonymous letter read in the introductions all but ordered him not to. Carrion was no doubt in agreement, and if it meant revealing his identity, then going all out in this arena was off the table. Even so, he was strong. Your average monster or magic-born didn't stand a chance. He could even conquer high-level elementals. Despite that, Carrion was beginning to get a little serious. Let's go. Yeah! A golden burst of mystical force flashed for just a moment, focusing itself on Carrion's right hand. The fist plowed into Geld's arm, leaving after images behind. The force was shuddering, exploding against both his arms, sending them flying away from the now exposed pit of his stomach. It was one of his weak points, and Carrion wasted no time throwing a right jab straight at it. The shockwave coursed across Geld's body with an energy that was physically destructive. Well done. This is the end for me. Geld staggered back, but he did not fall. He was trying to make his way outside the ring boundary. Diablo ran over to prop him up, looking towards Soka. It's over! The winner is Lion Mask! I'm amazed I could do that. Holy shit.
It's yeah.
Massive cheers, massive applause. The crowd didn't hold back for a moment, screaming their praise at the competitors. I call that Lion Cannon Fist. You should be proud, Geld. Not only did you take the full brunt of one of my secret moves and survive, you're still able to walk. I would love for us to fight no holds barred sometime. So would I. I haven't had a scrap this fun in a while. Geld and Carrion both nodded, each treating the other with respect. I could tell they had a deep, heartfelt connection now. Neither of them thought this was the end, and it wasn't. If they both got serious and used their full arsenal of skills, the whole match would have been different. But the win went to Carrion this time, and Geld was out of the tournament. Still, I wanted to tell Geld that I was proud of him. These cheers right now, this was what it was all about. That's how amazing about this was. I clapped as loudly as all the others as Geld left the arena. The quarterfinals were in the books. Oh shit, were in the books. And it was time for an intermission. The semifinals would take place after the lunch hour. A lot of the next round would come down to how fatigued the winners from the last one were. We had healing potions for all the competitors, so their physical injuries were healed, but you couldn't tell how they were doing magicule-wise from the outside. With the morning's excitement still on everyone's mind, the fifth match of the day was about to begin. In the center of the arena, Masayuki and Bovix faced each other down, ready to fight for a berth in tomorrow's final. the big question for this bout, were Masayuki's powers real, so to speak? Because unless my mind was playing tricks on me, it looked like Masayuki's knees were quivering a bit. Trembling with excitement for the upcoming bout, maybe? And the sweat coming down the back of his neck was almost like a river. Was he really as powerful as Hinata? I just couldn't convince myself of that. As I observed him, Bovix helped himself to Sokka's mic. So you're the hero who picked a fight with Surimaru. A pity, then. You so failed to realize your place. He was taunting Masayuki, but the hero just gave him an aloof smile. Or to put it in a less complimentary way, his mouth gave an odd twitch and let it slide. Then he extended a hand to Sokka, asking for a mic.
Easy.
Your fighting was a marvel to see. Yes. He wasn't taking the bait. In fact, he was praising him. Masayuki's more mature than I thought. But that makes it all the more a pity. A pity? What is a pity about it? The hero didn't seem in a great hurry to start this match. What was he going to say next? If you were in peak shape, it would have been fine for me to fight with my full strength. But you used the majority of your endurance in the previous round, didn't you? I just find that to be such a pity. I wasn't expecting him to announce that he'd not fight all out this round. It seemed like a sincere gesture or maybe just making excuses. What are you? I just mean if I fought and beat you right now, I wouldn't get any joy out of it. I've heard the Demon Lord Rimuru appointed you one of the masters of the labyrinth he's prepared. I guess you're more interested in joining the Big Four, but... Fool! The role of Master of Floor 50, the midsection of the dungeon, is a great honor for myself and Equix, but it will not prevent me from aiming for even loftier heights. Oh? Well, sorry to say, but the way I see it, Geld yesterday looked far more suited to the Big Four than you, strength-wise. First he praised him, then he dissed him. What was Masayuki thinking? If I fight you now, I'm likely gonna win. But at your full rested peak, I don't know how it'd go, especially down in the labyrinth, your home turf. I just think, it'd be such a waste if we had to settle this right now. Whoa, man. I hate to think this, but does Masayuki have no intention of fighting at all? I'll be tackling the dungeon here, definitely. No matter how my fight with the Demon Lord works out, So, what do you think? You can get back to full strength. I can meet you down there, and you can try to fend me off. Now I was sure of it. Masayuki was acting all breezy and self-confident, but to me, it looked like Bovix was scaring the crap out of him. Was he trying to sweet-talk him into conceding right now? I had ordered Gobta and Geld to weigh Masayuki's talents for me, but Bovix didn't know that. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, I fully understand what you mean, and it is true. Just as you surmised, I have no strength to spare right now. I defeated Equix by only a razor-thin margin, you see. But very well. I will trust in you and wait down in my labyrinth. Ah! I knew it! Bovix actually said yes to him, and even worse, he was grinning like an idiot as he shook hands with the guy. And the crowd was going wild for it, of course! You'd think someone declaring he had no interest in fighting would be greeted with boos and cheers, but for reasons I couldn't guess, they loved every bit of this. I heard people praising Masayuki's magnanimity, Bovix's wisdom for admitting his disadvantage, and all kinds of other strange things across the whole Colosseum. It made no sense.
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really had no idea what was going on. It was so clearly a bluff, but the audience thought it was a genius stroke. I guess he just got some kind of weird charisma.
No.
Wait a second. If that's what I'm thinking, maybe I'm getting hoodwinked with everyone else. Was this all just an act? If he wanted to avoid combat with Bovix because he knew I'd be here and wanted to hide his abilities from me, I suppose that did make sense. I couldn't let my guard down yet. So Masayuki was still in the running, already qualified for the final. Gupta and Carrion, Lion Mask, were fighting in the second semifinal match. And I didn't need psychic power to know how that would go. How well could a teenage hero manage against a former demon lord? Thinking about it that way, maybe this wasn't such a bad thing. It helped reassure me a little at least, as I watched Masayuki leave the arena, blanketed with applause. Let's keep going.
No. I think it's time for Sonic to take over.
Cool. I'm gonna go get some more tea.
I'm gonna blow my
I'll
nose.
drop myself up real quick, just to,
You did a good job. We're now in the 190s.
Hell yeah. 215 on my page.
All right, let's get started.
Also, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Ow.
Al, for
I
what?
will say though, I don't think
Every
that
time I was
because
doing
of their
this,
voice.
it right
You
until the
didn't have
end
to
of it.
do voices, you dumbass.
But I wanted to.
Well, that's on
it
you.
was so much
Yeah.
fun. I know.
You're an idiot.
I am.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
it
glad
actually
we
was
all
better
accept this.
because you read it
But
in a
he's
deeper
devoted.
voice.
dumbass.
Especially that
Devoted
one
to the
with whole
cause.
fight scene.
Stupid.
It hurts.
Stupid.
Hey, sometimes it hurts, but we do what we got
No, no, you're an idiot.
Oh.
Shut up.
Excuse me.
to.
Now for the final bout of the day. Gopta against Lion Mask.
Taking all bets, guys. Taking all bets.
All right. This one was pretty much over before it began, but I still wanted to cheer on Gopta as much as possible. I did promise that fishing pole if he won it all. Blech. And let me tell you, I was proud of that pole. It was a new model with the reinforced reel, designed by me so I could catch up with him in our informal fishing competition. I wasn't about to give it up that easily. I could make another
Giggity.
pole with a little trouble, yes, but it's about the competition. Gopta wanted it, and that gave him the motivation he needed, which was great for me, so I had to root for him. I mean, you know, Lion Mask, carry on, was so gonna win. He was probably gunning for the championship. If not, he would have bowed out after that intense fight with Geld. That sure helped quash my anxiety about Masayuki. I mean, Carry On would be the perfect candidate to test him out with. I wasn't sure I could count on Millum's underling to pitch in for me, but right now, I felt there was nothing to worry about. He could get easily distracted, making me worry he might cut out. Bleh. Sorry, he might cut out of this tournament on a whim. But now it was clear I was too frazzled for my own good. Geld and Carry On didn't knock each other out, and now all my worries were in the past. Rest, I figured, I could leave up to him. But reading my mind, Gopta was here and absolutely burning with passion. Why is he always running? Hold on.
Contrarian.
It just cuts off, so it's kind of looks weird. To my knee. Why is he always running contraction to my knees?
Contrarian.
Sorry.
Contractions are what happen with a pregnant woman.
I know. Why is he always making me have contractions?
Because maybe you got knocked up.
Apparently.
What you choose to do with
Rebirth?
Gopta in your own private time is not something you should talk about on stream.
Oh, that would explain Riburu's daughter in the mobile game.
Oh my
God.
god.
He never puts in an effort when I expect him to.
Thought it was jizz, but it's
Whoa.
actually just a white slime.
God damn it. Oh, that caught me off guard. I hate
Well, she's pink, so
Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Anyway.
whoa, wait. I was supposed to be cheering for him. Carry On was gonna win, but I couldn't laugh at Gopta's efforts either. I turned my eyes to him, Gopta, who had summoned Ranga from the beginning this time. He had his back turned to me. Oh man. He was just going to rely on him again, wasn't he? That's why he acted so confident. He'd just have Ranga fight for him. Not only was that illegal, if Gota wanted any chance of victory, that was his only strategy. If I had to guess, Ranga was stronger than Geld. Carry on in a no holds bar mode was one thing, but this stunt version of him, I thought Ranga had a decent shot. Which, hang on, if he did win, what then? If on the tiny, I'm talking micro-sized chance Gupta won, then he could reveal Masayuki's powers for me, and my original plan would finally pay off. In other words, it didn't really matter who had won here. As if I was concerned.
As far as I was concerned.
As far as I was concerned. Leaving matters to Gupta concerned me a little, but hey, what happens happens. I started cheering my head off for Gupta. The match began. I'm no hobgoblin I
I'm not
usually
the
am today.
hobgoblin.
Oh, I'm not the hobgoblin I usually am today. Then why were you running from your last opponent? Don't make me laugh, kid. Listen, before anyone gets hurt, why don't you just hurry up and forfeit? Okay, Ranga, you're up. At once.
Why did you make Ranga sound like that?
I don't know. I'm just kind
At
of...
once.
I'm not sure. At
Like a
once.
fucking, like a maid at once.
I'm just imagining Ranga in her maid outfit now. Oh no.
Oh, fuck, over.
Well,
It was not my intention at all.
Jesus Christ.
Brushing aside Carrion's offer, Gupta made the first move. He and Ranga worked as a well-synchronized team. They must have strategized a bit over lunch. He was serious. He really wanted to win. He did, but... Tiger Talon! Sharp, blade-like claws grew up from Carrion's feet. He unleashed a tornado-like jumping roundhouse aimed at both Gupta and Ranga. His long, sharpened claws offered no clue about their trajectory, and if you dodged them, their tips emitted some kind of vorpal wave that cut through any vorpal. Weird word, vorpal.
No.
Vorpal wave that cut through any target they faced. This skill was just something for Carrion to play with, but to Gupta, probably make his life pass before his eyes. Blah! I'm sorry, hang on. Blah! I had to.
that works.
King of the hill.
God damn it.
Gupta fell off Ranga. I knew it. This was just asking too much. He frantically clambered away, attempting to scamper out of Carrion's sight. But no one had any right to laugh. I mean, yeah, the crowd was all laughing, but they could do that because they didn't realize how fearsome Carrion was. Just facing him up and attempting a frontal attack deserved to be praised. But Carrion left him alone. Or really, he had to, because Ranga, freed from the weight of Gupta, was now snarling at him. He was currently the size of a large dog, but even so, his teeth and claws were sharp enough. Carrion stopped those fangs with his left arm, letting it to be sacrificed to his bite. Then he brought the arm straight down, sending Ranga crashing towards the ground. But Ranga didn't relent. With a spin, he kicked against the stone floor and out of the arm's way. Whoa! That's some woof there! Yeah, but aren't Dark Direwolves rank C at best? Oh, you mean the monster Sir Guy mentioned? But is that really a direwolf? The crowd was already stirring, astonished at Ranga's moves. Some of them were already conjecturing on what he could be. He's a Tempest Starwolf, guys. Special A grade and not the kind of thing you'll see raiding your garbage at night. Elephant Stampede! Carrion broke out another attack. The aura needing, right?
Yeah.
Needed, yeah.
Kneading into it smashed into the ground from the skies above, like random lightning strikes. There might have been room to escape in an open environment, but not in this arena. If a ring out counted as a loss, your only choice was to take the blow, or so I thought. Ranga fled right away from it. Huh? Carrion was the most surprised of all. He probably didn't expect Ranga to just give up the match. disappointed him a little. And for just a moment, that left him open. Yeah, right there! Ah, was that Gopta talking? And that black shadow setting off on cue, it was Ranga. Just when I thought he fled outside the arena, he jumped right out of Gopta's shadow like nothing was amiss. Weren't you out of the ring? Carry-On shouted. Excuse me. A resummon? Resummon?
Yeah,
A
resummon.
resummon.
A resum. Oh,
Yeah.
like I said, it
Yeah.
kind of cuts. It goes to the next line. Sorry. A resummon is not against the rules. Diablo shot the ex-demon lord down. Carry-On blew it. Yes, Ranga was much stronger than Gopta. In Carry-On's eyes, Ranga needed far more attention paid to him. But his opponent was Gopta, and as long as he didn't step out of the arena, he hadn't lost. It was an underhanded move, but ever since this match began, he had been toying the boundaries. This was what he was aimed for the whole time, playing the fool while hungrily striving for victory. This was how he'd do it, and the results changed the tide of the match. Fang brushed past Carry-On's head. The attack caught him off guard, and he dodged it by a hair's breadth. Or not, maybe not. I thought he'd fully avoided it, but then Carry-On brought a frenzied hand to his face. Just as he intended to. Ranga had struck a successful blow. The attack took its toll, too. Carry-On was on his guard, of course, but he must have been confident that he could weather any blow as long as it wasn't a direct hit. Instead of clumsiness, staggering back to dodge Ranga.
Instead of clumsily
Clumsily
staggering. Okay.
Oh,
Staggering.
I thought I said that. Instead of clumsily staggering back to dodge Ranga, he dodged barely enough to dodge. What the fuck? Oh, hang on.
Segue.
Instead of clumsily staggering back to dodge Ranga, he dodged just barely enough to
Segue.
Segue.
Segue to his next move. A simple choice for someone as dominant as Carry-On. As a masterful lord of the battlefield, he had to make it look easy. That's how he thought. And his power... His power made that naturally possible. That's why he had the strength and agility to dodge the attack that came after Ranga's surprise reappearance. This time, however, Ranga wasn't aiming for Carry-On at all, but the mask he had on. With his honed instincts, Carry-On decided to do the bare minimum necessary to avoid taking damage, and that let Ranga bite right through his mask. Now Gopta was all smiles. Sweet! Right on target! He joyfully shouted. Then he whipped out his dagger and launched a shot of icicle lance. Take this, you little sneak! The bolt wasn't meant to topple Carry-On, but to rip the mask off of him. Likely realizing this, Carry-On fought back with both hands over his face, and that gave Ranga free rein to attack. With this, his hands essentially tied behind his back, fending off the Star Wolf and a Herculean task. So dirty. What a cowardly way to fight. Fight for real, you bastard! The spectators weren't exactly satisfied with this, but Gopta didn't care. Shut up! In this world, might makes right. Surimaru said that himself. He was playing to the audience now, shouting right at them. I really wish he wouldn't drag me into this. I could see why he's aiming for the spot in the Demon Lord's Big Four, fighting like that, and not being ashamed of it for a moment. Yeah, in fact, he's acting like it's a completely normal tactic. He looked kind of dopey, but he's sharp, you know? He was aiming for that from the get-go. I bet the Demon Lord suggested it to him. I mean, check out that stupid-looking face of his. You think he could have come up with that? Scary, is it? A Demon Lord's capable of bossing around the Big Four. Great. Now the crowd was making me out to be some trans-dimensional mastermind. It's all Gopta, okay? All his fault. And I really didn't need a Big Four who required my constant input in order to function. But the crowd would never get that. It was just sad. Now Gopta. It was sad. Now Gopta and Ranga had the initiative. And when Carrion finally took a step outside the ring, it was over. Curse him! Alright, you outwitted me this time. I could just tell he was furious. But he still had his reason with him. Better to bow out, he thought, than continue this farce any longer. And when he was probably right...
And he was probably right.
Oh, and he was probably right. If it became known that a former demon lord lost a tournament like this, it'd spark an international furor.
Furor.
Furor?
Isn't it furor? Furor?
Yeah, it's
Furor.
pure.
Furor.
Oh.
Okay, furor.
It
Yeah.
just has the two R's, so alright. Of course.
No, we're not talking about furries.
Yeah.
Furor.
No, under the comments,
God
no.
damn it.
Chat, no.
Guys, as
Of
much as I
course.
like furries.
Hush. Stop.
Of course, he did lose only thanks to a publicly announced message
Publicly.
from a certain publicly announced message from a certain anonymous benefactor. Without that, I doubted the strategy ever would have occurred to Gopta. Stunning! Absolutely stunning! Soka's shouting, laptop, shut up. Soka's shouting revved up the crowds once more. I heard cheering, shouting, even laughter. Everyone had their own takes, but either way, they truly enjoyed this fight. Freaking throat. Did that man really need to conceal his face so badly? That seemed rather exaggerated to me. It sounded like some of them were even advocating for Gopta. He was definitely the heel of the day, but better his lovable face,
But between
his nimble
his
moves,
lovable
and
face.
between his lovable face, his nimble moves, and everything else, no one could find it in their heart to hate him too much. The crowd was happy, for sure. Geld and Carrion's battle was praised for the high quality of its combat. With this one, people would be talking about Gopta's antics for a while to come. This world starved for entertainment. Instead of the rule-bound tournament in Glacia, the anything-goes atmosphere of this one seemed to grab people's hearts a lot more. It was objectively a terrible bout, but in the end, I guess it kind of worked. Later, as punishment for joining a match without permission, I forbid you from looking in my shadow until further notice. Ranga, trotting up to me with his tail wagging, must have assumed I would praise him for a job well done. This was a shock to him, but I honestly wondered why he thought I'd like it. But, well, those pathetic, sad eyes he gave me, they tugged at my heart. I guess, Ranga, I know I gave you that punishment, but my final decision depends on tomorrow's contest. You theoretically being summoned by Gopta. You're theoretically being summoned by Gopta. So listen to what he says and try not to do anything reckless, alright?
Yes, master.
Ranga and Soe were good friends.
Ranga and Shion.
Shion. Oh, what the hell? Ranga and Shion were good friends. And I think Shion's influence made him go overboard at times. I had to put my foot down here, or I couldn't guess what kind of terrifying thing he'd try next. If he remembered his role as Gopta's summoned beast, everything should be fine. At least he wouldn't overdo it against Masayuki, I thought. Gopta, I want you to work with Ranga and give me 100% in the final tomorrow. You got it! Perfect. I was sure Gopta had no problem gauging Masayuki's true might. The worst case scenario I pictured involved Ranga going into full beast mode in the front of the crowd and then leaving Masayuki beat up ass.
Having Masayuki beat his ass.
Masayuki beat his ass. That meant I have to step into the ring, and I doubt we could talk things out then. I really wish we knew more about Masayuki's skills in battle. That worried me. Still, I hoped we could settle this without conflict. If Gopta could win, we were good. but that'll depend on tomorrow.
All right, I'm taking over from here. Thus, despite a few unexpected twists and turns, Day 2 wrapped up in an orderly fashion. Today's 6 matches were over, which left only the finals tomorrow, a, shall we say, quite unexpected matchup between Masayuki and Gobta. Once the arena emptied out, the night stalls reportedly saw massive profits. The fanboys were crazy for Masayuki, so-called hardcores were devoted to Geld or Carrion, and a few dyed-in-the-wool arena battle nerds tossed their hats in with Gobta. They were all smiles with one another on the streets, talking excitedly about the day's bouts. The same was true at our own dinner, spent enjoying a multi-course meal at our tables with the other VIPs. All anyone wanted to talk about was today's tournament. Apparently that guy dude was pretty famous. Gopta's beating him very suddenly made him the focus of attention. A lot of people had high expectations for the final tomorrow, and my own table was no exception. That was so great! Just seeing Sir Masayuki stand there looking so crazily cool. You think so? I like Mr. Tempest more. And Geld was so awesome! Talk about letting your fist do the talking! Yeah! When Lion Mask did that all-out assault on him, his face didn't even move an inch! Exactly! And Lion Mask was fierce! That barrage was something, huh? I was amazed. Just one cool move after another. I want to learn some of them. You too, Gale? So do I. Yeah, me too. Alice was all Masayuki. Chloe didn't particularly care. Kenya and the other boys thought Geld was so cool under pressure. But Carrion was the more popular choice. He was kind of like an action hero, actually. What with the lion mask bit. Watching them carry on. Carry on. I eyed the food on the table with anticipation. Instead of multiple courses, we were all being treated to a fried shrimp special along with meatloaf steak and cream-filled croquettes. A very kid-friendly menu, in other words, although I was definitely a fan, too. If we were nobility, we'd have servants carting all this over, but tonight we cut that out. Each table was separated by noise-dampening partitions. Having to worry about manners every single meal was exhausting. So I had us go with this setup on day 2. That let us chat all we wanted as we enjoyed dinner. The kids were abuzz about the battle tournament. And if they were that excited about it, I'm sure ticket sales were through the roof. I had my concerns about tomorrow, but no point worrying too much about that. I could see Carrion grinning at me from the next table over, no doubt hearing the kids carry on.
You only get the one. You don't get the second one.
No, I too late. Millum was there too, looking a bit more peeved. Guess that noise dampening didn't work too well after all. They heard every word from us, although the opposite was also true. Hehehe. Glad everybody saw how cool I was. Your kids there have good taste. Don't be silly. How can you be cool if you couldn't even win the tournament? Oh, don't be that way, Millum. I wanted to keep things nice and easy, all right? Nice and easy. Pathetic! Have you forgotten your pride as a former demon lord? Of course not. I got to take on a foe I've had my eye on for a while, and I didn't care about winning anyway. I'm quite jealous, I heard Midray add. You said it. I should have just disguised myself and joined in instead. Dude, if Millum asked to join, I would have stopped her at all costs. Whoa there, Millum, that's way too reckless. He's right, Lady Millum. A demon lord as brimming with grace as you would never be able to hide her identity. Carrion and Midray agreed with me, at least immediately trying to dissuade Millum of the idea. I didn't think she was brimming with grace, but oh well. Whatever. Let's all watch the final match together. Oh? Are you done with your labyrinth work? It's all perfect! So I'm gonna go around with Rimuru and his gang tomorrow. Would I be able to join you? I heard Frey ask. I'll pass, said Carrion. My staff invited me out. It's too bad I didn't make the final, but I want to take my time and look around town tomorrow. So Millum would be watching too. Carrion planned to go out with his Beasketiers, and I suppose Frey would be keeping an eye on Millum. Good thing there was only one round of the tournament left. Millum was excited for the labyrinth opening as well, so I figured we didn't have to worry about her. But if it was that engaging of a tournament, perhaps I should have joined in? Actually, what were you doing all day? Hee Midray was in the concert hall the whole time. So was Frey, it seemed. If she knew he was there, if they liked the music that much, I was sure the orchestra would be delighted to hear that. Huh? You mean that stuff that put me to sleep yesterday? Carrion. A barbarian like you wouldn't understand high art, I suppose. Whoa! Frey, don't talk to me like that! Hey, what stuff was this? Music, Millum. Remember that large band of musicians Clayman was so proud of who played such beautiful music? Well, there's a band just like that here. I think this band's much better than Clayman's, but... Oh? So you know that much about music after all, Carrion? That doesn't sound like much of a compliment to me, Frey. Well, no, it's not. I didn't mean it as one. You people just treat me like crap. I'll have you know Luminous herself spent the day at that concert hall as well, in the best seat available. I doubt someone like you could fully understand that music, is all I'm saying. Really? Luminous? Wait, she's here? Hey, I like music too, you guys. Certainly, a lively conversation. I was glad they were having fun. I love, like, the craziness of that whole group. As I listened in on the other guest, Hinata leaned closer to me. So, if you do wind up fighting that kid Masayuki, what are you going to do? Way to drive to the core of the issue, huh? Huh? You're fighting Sir Masayuki, Mr. Tempest? I know you're strong, but I don't think you're that strong. Sure he is. I think he's way stronger. The kids promptly began to argue over who'd win in our theoretical fight. Alice and Kenya sided with Masayuki, the others with me. That gave me a one-vote advantage, which I thought I could gloat about, but, oh, whatever. To be honest, not even I have a good gauge of Masayuki's strength. You should be wary of him, though. Of that much, I'm certain. That sounded like a warning. She didn't go into great detail, since doing so would reveal several of her own skills, but apparently she had done some investigating into Masayuki. The results told her that even she would find him a difficult challenge. Of course, she said with a laugh, I still think I'd beat him 9 times out of 10. Then things got worse. Oh yeah, I don't think you could lose to anyone, Hinata. Uh-huh. I hate to say it, but you're amazing. I don't think anyone in the world could beat Hinata. Me neither. No doubt about it. Not even Lion Mask could put up a fight against her. It was unanimous. Hinata was stronger than Masayuki. Me against him was a split decision, but Hinata against him? 5-0. I was honestly hurt for a moment. Well, I grumbled to Hinata. I do think Masayuki's interested in hearing me out, unlike some people. I don't think I'd have that much to worry about. In what way? The air suddenly froze between us. That was a landmine. One that was plain as day, and I'd stepped on it anyway. Oh, nothing. Never mind. If you're calling me out, I'll fight you any time. Man, what a temper. Realizing my mistake, I managed to placate her with the flan I was going to enjoy for dessert. A devastating loss for me. Loose lips, etc. But you're right. Masayuki seems open to reason. Oh.
This is a reminder.
Take my medicine.
Your medicine.
Yep. Yeah.
Take your meds, bro.
Yep. Hold on.
Don't forget your medicine.
Hold on. She's going to remind me one more time.
This is a reminder. Take your medicine.
There we go. Okay.
Here we go.
But you're right. Masayuki seems open to reason. Yuki said he was his guardian, so if need be, I can talk with him. But we may not need to. No? Meaning, maybe he'll lose tomorrow. I won't deny that, but this is Gobta we're talking about. He's got a knack for screwing things up right when it counts. He was pretty strong, but if he'd only take a normal approach to things. He was pretty strong if he'd only take a normal approach to things, but he kept getting these crazy ideas in his mind midway that put everything off kilter. That's just who he was. And what if he tried something crazy in the final? For a moment, it seemed like Raphael was about to say something. Did I imagine that? Well, I'm sure it was nothing important. But we were talking about Gobta versus Masayuki. Gobta, with Ranga, seemed to have a clear advantage. If Masayuki could beat Ranga, that'd definitely make him a serious threat. But somehow I just couldn't see the kid like that. If you ask me, though, I think Gobta has a lot of potential. Oh, sure, I said. I'll grant you he has a lot of good sense, but, he's Gobta. Gobta had a bad habit of doing something stupid and losing a fight he could have won. All right, well, I'll be looking forward till tomorrow. With that, she ended the conversation and took the kids out to the night market. Please, I begged her in my heart, please don't spoil them too much. Hinata was concerned for me in her own way. I appreciated that. If Gobta lost, we'd work something out then. I was prepared for it, and I didn't think anything too bad would happen as a result. For now, I really ought to enjoy the festival. We had tons of problems and tons of things to do, but these days really seemed fulfilling to me. I felt happy, so it was time to switch gears. I promised Gazel I would meet with him, and it was time to follow through on that. Technically, that is the end of Chapter 3. We now have Interlude, the Midnight Conference, starting on page 207, which means we have 10 pages to go on the physical edition. So, 10 pages to get through. The Midnight Conference. With he who began, so shall it be finished. Shim, take it away.
Okay.
All right. Actually, can you? Because it's 10 o'clock
Yeah.
my time. Are you okay
Yeah.
with that? Or is it 10 o'clock
I'll
my
try and
time?
push.
Okay.
It is 10 o'clock
Push
my
it
time,
to
but
the
I'll push.
Okay. Well, I didn't know
I'll
if
try.
you were on Central or Mountain. I didn't know.
I'm in Mountain, but I'll go.
Oh, it's not 10 o'clock your time then. It's 9 o'clock your
No,
time.
not yet, but you know what I
Okay.
mean.
Okay.
10 o'clock your time, but that's all right.
All right. I didn't know
I'll
which
go,
10
though.
o'clock you were worried about.
Yeah, we probably
That's
go for another
okay.
half an hour.
Okay.
I didn't
anyway.
specify, but anyway.
Yeah, it's 10 pages, so I think you should be able to knock this out in probably 10, 15 minutes. So it shouldn't be
Yeah, I
that
can
big
do
of a deal.
this.
All right.
So
Let's
it'll
go.
just take like 3 minutes per
Right.
page.
Well, yeah.
I entered the
He's the
What?
fastest
Sorry, go
reader
ahead.
of all of us, so
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my.
I'm
Yeah.
the slowest, probably.
yes.
You'll get there with time. I entered the reception room with Benimaru, Shion, and Diablo. Malemayo was already there, tension writ upon his face. Shuna was taking care of all of us, preparing some drinks once we arrived. His Majesty should be arriving soon, she said, and just as she did, the door opened and Gazel himself appeared. Did you wait long? No, we've only just arrived, too. With a few short greetings, we took our seats. So, let us begin with my conclusion. I placed a contact early this morning asking my men to assemble all our current surplus coinage. This resulted in just a little over 1,500 gold coins. I cannot collect more from these people, so consider that the most I can provide by tomorrow morning. Oh, compared to all the gold coins in circulations, this wasn't very much. But as Gazel put it, that was the most they could provide without affecting the Dwarven Kingdom's own economy. I had asked him the previous night for help making change out of our stellar gold coins. And he agreed to help. Thanks a lot. That's actually more than I expected. Sorry to put you through all that. I'll have it sent tomorrow morning via heavenly transport, so you'll have it by evening. 500 gold coins was a non-trivial amount of weight. I hated to put them through the trouble of delivering them, and with my dominate space skill, I could always just stop by Dworgen to grab them. That'd be safer and surer. Besides, I can't just go pick them up for you. I'm the one asking for them anyway. Oh? Ah, yes. You have spatial motion. That would reduce the chance of a mistake, yes. All right. I will contact them. That leaves the main question to discuss. Will this be enough to pay off your merchants? Well, it was close. Very close, but not enough. This being the first year of the Founders Festival, we were sparing no expense to launch the event. This resulted in a need for more gold coins than expected, over 3,000 in all. In my mind, this converted to around 3 million yen, a staggering figure given the scope of this world's economy. We had the money to cover this in our vault, 1,500 stellar gold coins. If you exchange these, they'd break down to 150,000 regular gold coins, which is why I didn't hesitate to blow 2,000 or 3,000 on this festival. It wasn't that we lacked the funds. If we could break down the stellars into regular gold coins, payment was easy. But since we were dealing with newer small-scale tradesmen for many of our services here, that just wasn't possible. As a result, we needed regular gold coins in our vault, but Tempest was not at the point where we could institute a currency-based financial system. There just wasn't much gold coinage floating around yet. Silver coins of all sorts were everywhere, but dwarven gold coins? We had fewer than 100 of those. To this, we could add my personal stash of 300, plus the 1,000-ish Molly Ma managed to put together. Around 1,400 in all. That's plus Gazzo's promised funds didn't make it to 3,000. Not enough. Based on the accounting in my head, we'll want a few hundred more. That's the accounting you ran this festival on? Why, I'm amazed you ever got it off the ground. Yeah, I kind of made things up as we went along. We didn't have much time to set it up, so what could I do? I don't even know how to begin lecturing you. Gazzo let out a long theatrical sigh, his eyes despondent. I mean, we were really into it, you know. Nobody said no to me, right?
Idiot.
If I told Gazzo any of that, I knew he'd explode. The king, without some drink in him, could be kind of scary at times. I was intelligent enough to avoid excessive talk when he was like this. In that case, perhaps I could make up the difference? Perhaps someone interrupted our conversation. I looked over to see who it was. Oh, sorry. Suddenly, someone interrupted our conversation. I looked over to see who it was, only to find Almesia, Emperor of Thalion, with Archduke Errol in tow. She sat next to Gazzo, who visibly winced when he saw her, just for a moment. Just, was still enough to give you pause. Carefully, I turned to Errol. Duke Errol? And the Heavenly Emperor, too? What brings you both here? Well, Sir Rimuru, when I spoke about this with Her Excellency, she was kind enough to offer her support to you. Errol did all the talking, Almesia just serenely smiling next to him. The Archduke himself looked a bit pained as well, and I could pick up on why. She was making him say it himself, for reasons I better not pry into. Sleeping dogs and all that. Oh, no, this is a problem we should handle ourselves. Is it? Were you not just wailing a moment ago that you lack the money? I was only offering our support in light of the friendly relations our two countries will share going forward. Her lips were smiling. Her eyes weren't. Or her lips were smiling. Her eyes weren't. My instincts whispered me that this was trouble. No. As I was saying, trusting in those instincts, I leaned toward turning down the offer. I did need someone to trade us some gold coins, but the idea of owing Almesia a favor spooked me. We were short only a few hundred, and if it came to it, we could leave a merchant or two in the lurch for the time being. As long as we didn't lose face from it, and as long as nobody lost money in the end, I didn't think people would resent us too much. Such were the calculations behind my decision, but give it up. Once that woman speaks her mind, she won't relent until she's had her way. Trust me, you would rather make enemies with every merchant on the continent together than her alone. You are far better off accepting her offer. Gazzo spat out the words, looking just as pained about it as Errol. It was surprising from him, the heroic king, having so much trouble dealing with a fellow leader. My, Gazzy, you are taking my side? How wonderful, she smiled. It was so transparent, and given that Ghazi nickname, I began to understand what the relationship was like. Would you mind not calling me that, please? What is it that you're after here? Oh, you're always so formal. Your grandfather was much more freewheeling than that, you know. If he was, then my father must have led a trying life. Would you mind getting down to business? I thought Gazzo was pretty uninhibited himself, but for the most part he played the role of a sober, duteous king. Maybe it was his youth, growing up with such a harried father, that inspired him. When his father ruled, that was Gazzo's last taste of true freedom, and it was then that he first met Errol and Almesia. I imagine that's when he trained under Hakurou as well. The way Almesia talked to him about that era, I can imagine Gazzo picturing him like an annoying aunt, or picturing him at her like an annoying aunt showing up at every family event just to bug you. No wonder he found her to be trouble. Good. My, so hasty. Were you always so impatient like that? He was doing a good job hiding it. It didn't look that way at all, but I was sure Gazzo was intensely irritated. He might have fooled me, but Almesia could see it as bright as day. Reading someone's subtle body language was a piece of cake for nobility. What I was witnessing was an intense, high-stakes game of wits, and Gazzo, something of a mentor to me, was like a deer in the headlights to Almesia. Now I could see why he was wincing so much. The Emperor asked Shuna for a cup of wine. She was settled in her new seat now. There would be no shooing her away. Gazel and Errol exchanged glances and simultaneously sighed. Those two acted like they disliked each other, but they were in total sync here. In terms of Almesia treating them both like children, they shared a lot in common. With my lack of experience, I doubted I could ever out-negotiate Almesia. Gazel's advising me to give in made sense. Oh, this is good. Thank you. Almesia smiled broadly at the wine Shuna had poured for her. It was one of Shuna's treasured varietals, a drink that seemed to change in taste with every sip. That's nice. The Emperor didn't like this. It'd be hard to find anything better for her. That was a relief. Right then, Gazel said, trying to shift the conversation. Our time is valuable. We can't afford to consume it with your caprices, all right? Yes, Almesia said, finally yielding to Gazel's demand.
I think it's
In
caprices.
exchange. Caprices, like Capri Sun? Okay.
Oh, I was gonna make the joke. You beat me to it.
Yeah.
Beat me by
Don't doubt
1
how many I
second.
drank in my
Boy, I didn't have to unmute my mic.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have
Good.
crunchy
All
bread.
good.
Bread, whatever.
All right. Yes, Almesia said. Can't do that one. That hurts.
I'm
No,
not even
can't do
gonna
that one.
try.
No, I did, and I regret it. In exchange for providing my support, I have one condition to ask. Whenever you organize a festival as grand as this, I want you to invite me. If you promise me an invitation for your events going forward, I would be happy to help with your monetary exchange. Because, goodness me, why would you ever stage such a wondrous event and not let me know about it? Errol turned his eyes skyward. It's true. Hand against his temple, Gazel looked like he just swallowed a bug. I'd be glad to, casually replied.
You're damn right you will.
What a smooth lady. Amesia smiled at me, elated. The difference in enthusiasm between us was palpable. Maybe that was the wrong thing to do, but if she liked this kind of excitement and wanted to be part of the action going forward, I couldn't ask for anything more.
Hell yeah.
Royalty aren't the... Slick, man.
Hell
Royalty
yeah,
aren't
dude.
the slaves of the people, you know, she said. They can live freely. That makes their citizens happy as well, as it does me. I think it could help bring joy to everyone. There is truth to that. There is truth to that. I agree with you. It's reassuring to see people on my side, and I look forward to it staying that way. We shook hands with a smile. Now she was part of the team. The team consisting of me, Molly Mile, and her, called us the three pranksters, I suppose. Gazel and Errol shivered a bit as they looked on, fearing the worst, but they didn't matter to us.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it was
Hell
better
yeah,
this than
brother.
anything else.
Bro, that's a scary fucking team.
Yeah, that is pretty scary. Amnesia, that's a lot of money, and that's a lot of mischief that they can have.
Bro.
Yeah. Amnesia promptly took out what I could only describe as her magic purse. This is just my pocket money in here, so I only have around 1,000 gold coins at the moment. If you need more, I can arrange for that, but... No, that alone will be more than enough, I replied, not skipping a beat. Could we exchange those for 10 stellar gold coins, then? What was this emperor thinking? Just carrying around 1,000 gold like it was spare change under her sofa? She was living on another planet from the rest of us.
Hey, you got
Close to an
change for
A-list
100?
celebrity. Not even that. That'd be like whipping out, 4 of those to buy an ice cream cone. Jesus. As close to an A-list celebrity as you could get in this world. Gazel was right. I did not want to cross her. That's quite fine. Don't forget our promise, all right? Of course not. I smiled and nodded at her, and right there and then, we made the exchange. Now, if I could get that 1,500 gold exchanged over at the Jordan Kingdom tomorrow morning, we had the money we needed. I sighed, relieved. The problem was behind us. How nice, Sir Rimuru, Diablo said as he refilled my cup of tea. I watched him tend to Gazel's and Almesia's cups as I savored the hot brew. Benimaro intrepidly smiled. If someone thought that Sir Rimuru wouldn't be able to play by the rules, we're about to prove them very wrong. Yes,
Hashtag screw
I
the
was...
rules. I have money now.
God damn it.
Well, now. He didn't have it before.
Technically, he did. He just did not have it in the currency that they were
Oh.
demanding.
Okay, that's true. It'd be like having all your
Screw
money
you.
in,
I have
Mexican
the right
pesos.
money now.
Yeah, I have the proper
Screw you, I
currency.
have the right currency.
I have the correct currency.
I have the
exactly.
proper
Yeah.
currency.
All right,
There you go.
let's
Yep.
continue on.
Anyway,
Hi, guys.
yes, I was no longer going to be dunked on by someone. No need to kowtow to those tradesmen demanding their money. I had saved face pretty well, I thought. It was a heavy load off my shoulders. But then Almusia started insinuating something else to me. You know, though, I think somebody would have offered their help even if you couldn't prepare the gold coins in time. Hmm? Oh, what do you mean? I was being honest, I really didn't know. If you want someone to do your bidding, it's far easier to have them owe you a favor rather than browbeating it or scaring them into it. It's also successful quite a bit more often. She smiled warmly at me. That was no doubt the smile of a ruler, and it elicited a swift response from Diablo. I see, you think. Or you think, for example, someone might have swooped in at the last minute to mediate for us uninvited? That might be the case, yes. But if such an interloper did show up, who's to say that they weren't being controlled behind the scenes by someone? An interesting thing to consider. Causing the problem, then, alleviating it while creating an obligation for us. That does seem like a viable scheme, but this interloper, perhaps, would have been willing to accept a signed contract allowing payment at a later date, even if you didn't have the gold coins. It would show world leaders that Tempest could not be trusted, while they could be. You would be quite obliged to them, yes. How greedy. Truly a very human approach. I've learned a lot from this. So this means someone might be putting the merchants up to this just so they can make us owe a debt to them? They might be doing someone else's bidding here? They'd be more disposable that way? I see. If we trusted in this person, they'd reap the benefits. If not, they'd abandon the whole strategy and maybe they were just doing this to make us look bad. But I felt like Almusia might be right. I could see Diablo agree, judging by the evil grin on his face. Makes little sense to me, Benimaru said. But can you think of anyone who would want to do that? Is some member of the Council of the West trying to test us or what? Almusia smiled, not taking offense at his tone. Oh, I wouldn't know. Thalion isn't part of the council, but maybe he would know something. She was staring right at the pensive Molly Mile. Me? Being fingered like this unnerved him, but he quickly regained his composure. I have heard rumors, he furtively stated. Rumors of a kind of shadow community that enjoys de facto control over the council. It's composed of the ruling classes, the highest level leaders from the council's nations. But I wouldn't believe it for a moment.
They have the
The
fucking
council. What's up?
Illuminati.
Secret money.
We've technically already covered this.
Mhm. Secret money.
The Illuminati's been confirmed, guys.
Yep.
Technically, we've already covered this at the end of I think it was volume 7.
The interlude for that one, right?
Yeah, it was the end of volume 7, the interlude for that one. And talking about how dangerous Tempest was, and we're gonna get more into that in volume 10. Because we're kind of set. That's what's kind of being set up in the background, and then we're gonna get more into that in volume 10. So we're kind of that's what's going on in the background here. Yeah.
Some sketchy shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't believe it for a moment. The council is composed of elective representatives from each country. The royalty's hereditary. Yeah, they don't need to worry about losing their seats. So Molly-Mile was familiar with a few rumors going around the merchants. Rumors about a cabal of rulers who held the most power among the Western nations. It smacked of a conspiracy theory, though, and Molly-Mile himself didn't lend it much credence. Well, if someone should appear tomorrow and attempt to mediate with us on this matter, I will give them a thorough examination and fully expose their backgrounds for you. Soy was here and kneeling next to me. I never noticed him, but hiding my surprise, I gave him a cool, composed nod. My goodness, what a shock. I hardly even detected his presence. This is why I told you, Your Excellency. The denizens of this domain are like nowhere else. Paying a personal visit is just too dangerous. But it's offered such interesting experiences. May I ask you a question, Sir Rimuru? What you want to know now? Yes? I am considering enacting a new pact with you, but before I do, I wanted to hear your thoughts. Amnesia's demeanor changed. She was no longer hiding her real face, the face of a ruler. One she'd shown me for a moment earlier, that was turned straight at me. I could feel the overpowering pressure. Heroic aura at a level incomparable with Gazel's. Let's hear it. I fought back with my own heroic aura. We exchanged stares, or more like fired them at each other like cannonballs. I tried to take the full brunt of hers, not averting my eyes for a moment. How do you plan to deal with that demon over there? That incredibly dangerous primal one. Primal? I didn't know what Amnesia meant. Was she talking about Diablo? It's pretty strong, yeah, but not that dangerous, no. Nothing really. I mean, Diablo's doing a pretty good job for me, so what's the problem? Let me rephrase the question. If that demon were to go out of control, how would you take responsibility for that? Out of control? I could picture that, actually. She must have had perfect insight into what I was going through. No, there was no telling when Diablo might decide to go berserk, but did that apply to Diablo alone? It wasn't a topic I wanted to think much about, but I had another problem child in Shion too. And while I appreciate Amnesia's concern, I wasn't sure what she could do about that. Well, I'll stop him before that happens. That's all I can really do to prevent any fallout, isn't it? There was another way, I'd love to hear about it, but the only option was to prevent it before it took place. Diablo looked content enough at my response, which I didn't appreciate much. This is about you, you know. I wasn't the only one perplexed here. Huh? Wait a minute. Not to drop the act for a moment, but you'd stop that demon? You'd step up to do that? Yes, I know it's maybe a likely scenario, but lately he's started listening to what I've told him more. I think he's much more mature than previously. I felt confident about that. If they kept it up, Diablo and Shion wouldn't have caused any problems at all. I didn't think. I didn't like how Shion was listening to this like it wasn't about her, but it'd be alright. Hearing my response, Amnesia started giggling like a young girl. Oh my, did you hear that, Errol? This demon lord's an even bigger piece of work than how you described him. Archduke Errol found a way to scowl even more than he already was. I pitied him, speaking of overly freewheeling rulers.
Okay,
It
pause
is
for a
fine.
second.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
This is probably the third time that somebody has referred to Diablo as primal
Yeah, so it's like...
in front of Rimuru,
Mhm.
and
he's
he's
like,
ignored
Shrugged it
that.
off.
He
just
shrugged
made the
it off and
fucking-
ignored
Primal.
it.
He's not
He's
primal. I
actually
could
heard
kick
him
his
say
ass.
Here's the dumb thing. Here's the dumbest thing possible. This motherfucker isn't going to recognize this shit until I think book 12?
Jesus Christ, that is a lot.
And
more
then he's
They're
like,
not
"Ah!"
going to have a
Primal
proper
demon.
conversation about this until 12, and then that's when Rimuru's finally going to, and they're all going to be like, wait, you didn't know? And he's like, no, I'm
He's
like,
He was
motherfucker.
just some butler dude. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, what do you
Oh.
mean? What
He was
is
just my
primal?
butler.
And even at that point, Raphael's gonna be like, Jesus, dude.
You just be like, I thought this meant he was just old.
No. Yeah, it's not that
Yeah.
Rimuru
That's
is
what he would
stupid.
probably think. Or
It's
something like
not
that.
simply that Rimuru is stupid. Rimuru
I mean, he
ignores.
is.
Rimuru ignores like really important information way too easily.
He is very dense when it
Yeah.
comes to
That's
incredibly
tricky.
important
See,
things.
even Crafter's
Yeah.
agreeing with me.
All right,
Yep.
continuing on. Sorry, we've only got 2 pages left. Sorry.
Yep. It is fine, Lady Almusia. If that is what Rimuru says, then I'll support it. And should push come to shove, trust me, Gazel Dwargo will come to Rimuru's aid. Gazel stepped up to support me. It seemed like the first time in a little
Daxter, right? And you gave him a name?
while. Yeah, it's like, well,
But bro,
whoops.
by the time we get to volume 12,
How do they keep forgetting about that?
but
I bet
here's the thing, by the time we get to volume 12, Diablo's not going to be the only issue.
Mm.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, it's
Chin
going to get
scritch.
worse.
But I imagine it's gonna be like Diablo's
just
just. I just imagine Diablo's gonna have like a room. It's like, guys, welcome to my room. It's just filled of Rimuru merch.
Guys,
like-
here's the God
We don't
damn
have to
it.
worry about him.
God damn it. It's like filled with wall scrolls.
He's got that little
like-
plush
like
like you have in the
plushies,
background.
I
Yeah,
know.
Rimuru body
Rimuru,
pillow in the
like,
corner.
I was gonna say there's like a Rimuru
Figurines
body
and various
pillow.
outfits.
It's
Look,
not a
bed
full body
sheets.
pillow. It's a regular size pillow. One size
It's-
has Rimuru slime, the other one Rimuru slime with a sexy
Yeah,
outfit.
exactly
It's,
that.
it's this,
That
it's
pillow.
this.
It's
And
just
then
a
there's-
thong,
and then there's,
strapped
like,
over his
just-
face.
There's actual Rimuru body pillow. One's clothed, and then the other one's 18 plus on the other side. You know.
You flip it over. Yeah, flip
Yeah,
it over.
yeah, yeah,
I was just
yeah.
thinking like regular slime Rimuru with like just a thong on his head.
Guys,
Ah!
Right there.
Guys,
Sexy Rimuru
guys,
right there.
here's the
Sexy
funny
slime
thing.
Rimuru.
He
By
has
the
the
time-
blanket.
By
Rimuru.
by the time we get to the part, I can't remember if it's 12 or 13, honestly, but by the time we get to the part where they have to confront him about the primals, we're no longer dealing with Diablo. You're no longer
Good.
dealing with the average Saiyan warrior anymore.
Primal Demon Warrior.
Yeah.
As he reveals his giant monkey
form.
form. Oh,
His
Oh my
actual
god, I
demon.
thought he
got
had
him,
because-
penis.
Because at this point,
Yeah.
in time, we're talking about Diablo,
hmm
Ultima,
White,
Carrera,
yellow.
yeah, Carrera.
Carrera, and fuck, I forget the last. All right,
Carry on to Electric Boogaloo.
yeah, Carry On too. That's hilarious. Let's see,
Mhm.
Ultima, Carrera, and jeez, there's one more. I can't remember her name right now.
I don't know.
Rimuru has 4 primals.
All to deal with.
They're all named.
They're
Good.
all his.
He named them.
That should be a
Name
fun
them.
time.
Oh yeah.
Good.
And by the time you get to 15, he has evolved
all
them.
Oh,
and they all share
good.
one
By the way,
room.
here are my primals. You're what?
My primals.
No. It gets even crazier. When I say he's
Wait, hold on.
when I say he's evolved them, by the time we get to 15, he has evolved them, and to make matters even crazier, to make it
Mhm.
to make things up to him, to make things up to him, he gives a bunch of souls and evolves up Rain and Misery for Guy.
Oh my god.
Because Guy
Well-
can't do it, but Rimuru can.
Oh
That's-
yeah, because
Mhm.
that's when he first did it.
Guy doesn't
Good.
know
I just-
how to do it, but Rimuru can, so he actually evolves up Guy's 2 demon primal maids. It's ridiculous.
Good.
The dumb shit that Rimuru can do.
I just had a
Just-
thought too about like him having the 4 primals. He just like he's talking to someone. It's like, by the way, I have
Ultima,
age.
Carrera.
What? Oh yeah, they're all over there. 4 guys, they're all
Ultima,
primal
Carrera,
demons.
Diablo, and I know it's
What would this be like?
yellow, black, white, and I think it's yellow, black, white, and I think purple.
Red?
No,
Well-
Guy Crimson is red.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Guy's red and he has blue
Congratulations
and
on
green.
graduating from a
Jim
Mm.
Flint,
This is
thank
That
you
is
for the 11
basically
months.
just getting a participation
Mm.
trophy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Been a
I'm
hot
getting your ass
minute.
handed to you in CS:GO. We're
Nice.
we're all kind of like coughing and
Yeah, we're
stuff.
kind of sick,
Been a
but
hot
we're
minute.
trying.
Getting our ass handed
What
to
we
us
doing
by
tonight?
nature.
We're finishing up. We're finishing up chapter 3. Sorry. Yeah. Let's help you. Let's stop interrupting you. So, Testarossa. That's her name. Testarossa.
Oh, okay.
Rimuru is
I just
stupidly
imagine the middle
powerful.
of reading.
Yeah, he's pretty OP.
And here's the
I just
crazy part.
know-
Here's the crazy part. All of this stuff happened. All of this stuff happened
Ugh.
before Rimuru's 2nd evolution.
Yeah. So.
Like,
So it's Pokemon.
cause all right. Here's the thing. Up until 15, Rimuru's a demon lord. At 15, he hits a 2nd evolution.
Jesus.
Now he's true Demon Lord.
No,
He becomes something
Demon
else.
King.
he becomes some. No. He becomes something else. He is on equal. He is on equal power with
Dragon
Millen.
Lord?
Satan.
So Dragon Lord.
No, he is.
You'll
he
find
is-
out when you get there.
You'll find out when you get there. He is on equal footing with Milim and Veldora.
Okay.
Yeah,
Does
he
he
is.
become a
Dragon
dragon?
Lord.
He is fucking. He becomes the.
He evolves
I know
into
you
his
want to
final
say something.
form.
I'm not
Like
saying
it
it on
was Pokemon.
stream. I am not saying it.
I know
on
you want to
stream.
say it though.
I want to
I
say
know,
it.
but I
I'm
know
not
you wanna
saying
say
it
it.
on stream.
We
I know.
have to wait till then.
Yep.
He becomes the 5th. He becomes the 5th of something.
Congratulations
Oh.
on
The
graduating
fifth
from
of-
a Dave.
I want to say like
thanks
the
for the
fifth
gift
of
subs.
That's a
Oh!
Participation trophy.
Hey Jim, thank you
Ooh.
for the gift subs. Thank you for the gift sub.
Yep.
Out there.
Give
Thank
one
you.
to Paul.
All right.
Paul is now. Is Milim going to call Rimuru because evolution adds age? Oh god.
Oh,
Oh,
Funny.
Well, no, that would be. Wouldn't that be when he
Some.
first becomes a demon
All
lord?
right,
Or finish reading.
let's finish reading. Yeah.
Okay.
Congratulations on graduating.
Amesia
from
gave us a
Knave,
contented look.
Though that is
All right,
basically
Jim-
I
just
understand
a
her position.
participation trophy.
Huh? What's that?
Jim gave out more gift subs. Thank you for the
Oh, thank you.
gifted
Those are
subs.
always
All
useful.
these subs, man. Thank you for the gift
Yeah, that's
subs.
good. I do like sandwiches.
Mm.
Anyway.
I'm
All
more
right.
of a Jimmy John's guy.
You guys.
Yeah.
You guys. Testarossa.
Yes. Testosterone. I don't know.
Testarossa. By the way,
Yeah.
the cool thing about Ultima Carrera and Testarossa is how crazy they throw around nuclear magic.
Excuse me.
Like their ability, how uniquely they use nuclear magic is scary. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
Just look forward to
nuclear.
that.
And I thought it was bad when fucking Diablo just blew that little giant ass fireball away.
It's like, is everyone all right?
He.
Rosin's
good.
Rosin's use of nuclear magic is like
Dinky.
it
Very
really
stinky.
is. It really is like it really is like a birthday candle in comparison to how they use nuclear magic.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right. Anyway, let's
Yeah.
continue.
All right.
Jeez. Wow.
All right. I understand your position. If you should ever become an enemy to mankind, I will exercise all my force to stop you. So instead, let us continue to deepen our bonds and maintain our current friendly relations. Harold? Yes. I, as representative of the Sorceress Dynasty of Thalion, hereby officially acknowledge the Jura Tempest Federation as close friends with our nation. Please handle the paperwork for me. Yes, Your Excellency. That's an emperor for you. All that dignity, all that authority, as she ordered Harold around like an errand boy. You could stand to learn from that. Amusia turned to me. Right. Should anything come up, feel free to confer with me or Ghazi. And please, don't let yourself go out of control. Am I clear? This wasn't making sense. We were talking about Diablo or Shion, I thought, and now she was referring to me? Since when? And me? Going out of control? Man, that was just rude. Hey, I'm a pretty prudent person. Why are you talking like I could go crazy someday? Rimuru, Rimuru, who was the leader who decided to hold a Founders Festival on a passing whim? Gazlo's gaze burned into me. I'd have to say it was me, I suppose. Molly, right? No, it wasn't, Sir Rimuru. Molly Mall didn't want to play along. All right. Yes, I promise I'll talk things over with you guys in advance next time, okay? Very good. I hope you will. This isn't the kind of advice I'd normally give to the king of another nation, but this time, we are. Don't think badly of us for it. Griping about this too much, Gazzo said, would be meddling with our internal affairs. But since a lot of my ideas often ran counter to commonly accepted norms around here, they wanted me to keep them in a loop a little more. It wasn't any judgment on how good or bad those ideas were. They just needed more warning. And this wasn't a bad thing for me either. In fact, it'd be good fortune for all the countries involved, given that we need to prepare for the angels attempting to destroy civilization sooner or later. So we had gone from solving any gold coin problem to the leaders of two nations lecturing me at the same time, but I didn't mind. The tough stuff was over. I had a promise from Amusia that we'd work to build good relations. What started as an informal chat turned into a great diplomatic coup for me. I figured things couldn't get any better, so I was about to end the night when Amusia brought up another topic. She was staring straight at me, her expression a tad desperate. Was there something else? I nervously asked. No, nothing major. It's just, I have a request. I want you to introduce me to Mr. Yoshida. Your Excellency, what nonsense is this? How shameless! Sneaking that into these high-level talks. I was expecting some other weighty political issue. But
Fucking food, baby.
I mean, yeah, maybe. Good. Errol was freaking out. But no, this was nothing major. Yoshida was cooking for us all through this festival on the invite of Shuna, but I hadn't heard anything about his future plans. I certainly like him to stick around, but that would be up to him. Connecting him to Malmesia in itself wasn't a big deal. Oh, that would be simple, but don't force him into anything, alright? Of course I won't. That seemed to please Almesia well enough, so we would introduce them to each other after the festival. And so our impromptu three-way summit among some of the biggest superpowers in the world came to a quiet close.
Nice. And with that, guys,
Yes.
that's the end of the 3rd chapter. We will be back next week for chapter 4, which
And we will hopefully be in good health.
as we reveal our giant monkey form.
Oh my god, I thought he meant penis.
Good.
Which is great because we will actually be finishing the final round of the tournament and getting started
Ding,
on the
ding.
labyrinth, which hell yeah. And then
Dance, magic,
honestly, I think in the next 2 weeks we will probably be able to finish up this volume, which is good.
Yeah.
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 I think that's good. That means we can start up next year with volume 10. So
Could be cool.
essentially, I think this is good because this means we can end 2022 by finishing season 3 of Slime, basically.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be
Where are we
that'd be
getting
pretty
season
cool.
Slime? Have they actually put anything out for that yet? Besides just the announcement?
Yeah, that's it. That's all they've done is just the announcement.
Yeah, we're still having to wait.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
gonna
I
be a
don't
while.
want to wait.
Well,
that's
it's coming.
Damn bad.
you gotta just be happy they
I
announced it
do
already.
the whole Holes voice, but I currently can't.
That having been
Yep.
said, guys, we've kept everybody up for a long time, so we're gonna end this really quickly. Any last minute words or thoughts about everything that we've read?
Guild versus Lion Mask. Really cool, and I want to see that animated.
Yeah.
I do too. Right? There's so much cool shit that's gonna be going on.
It reminds me of the two from My Hero Academia when they're just like the two like iron guys and they're just punching each other. It's like
Yeah, kind of like that. Where they're
Can
like,
I offer
"Yep,
you a
we go
mug in
full."
these trying times?
Yes.
I honestly,
Yes,
I wouldn't.
please.
I'm gonna miss the voice. The voice of
I
you
kind
reading that
of
was
will
just
and
made that
kind
perfect.
of won't. So I'm stuck because I do like this voice. For one, I'm gonna be trying out for a Goheen impression for a thing, and like this is the perfect voice for it. But it's not my
sucks.
voice. So I'm like,
Alright. Any last minute thoughts
You can-
before we head on out?
how's
Nope.
that?
That was it for me. You guys have a good night.
Stick
All of
around
you guys out
for
there.
a few more minutes before we leave the call after the stream ends. That's all I ask. All right.
Okay.
That having been said, thank you guys so much. We'll be back next week, hopefully in better health. But yeah, that's it for us
Here's
for
hoping.
tonight. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week for more slime time. If there's no art stream tomorrow, then we may be back with more live reacting to Slime Abridged. So we'll see. Depends on if there's an art stream or not. All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.